Where is it at? Here it is.
You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
I am that reminder that no matter how far you get in life, there's going to be someone like me, born with much more than you do, who can cash in and take it all away at any moment.
Come on over, Zeppelin. I'm being. See, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yep. He sure did.
Hijacking.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
Ooh, follow the white rabbit.
The mask has been removed, but I tell you what, he's still the same pro wrestler, whether he's wearing a mask or not.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim,
You're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
It's nerds and geeks at heart, and I look at your style. You look like somebody that would regularly shop at one of my favorite stores, not called Hot Topic, but Spencer's. I'm a fan of novelty likes.
You mentioned Hot Topic. It comes as no surprise to anyone that I was a manager at Hot Topic for years before I started wrestling.
What's in your AirPods? You know, what are you listening to? Whether it's at the gym working out or when you're in the jacuzzi relaxing, like what are you bumping?
So I tell everybody all the time, I love listening to strip club bangers.
I find it weird that you guys are so excited about seeing the cup. For us, it lives here, so it's just like
you just go down the street.
I just go to the Hockey Hall of Fame and just go take a peek, take a gander of it.
No, but they had
it lives there, but it's not like you guys have won it in how many years.
Take a look at
Why? But why? But why do we have to go there?
Quintanilla. Is that your birth last name or is that a gimmick name?
That is not my birth last name. Alejandra is my actual name.
Okay.
Quintanilla, I'm also, I love music. I'm always listening to music. I'm always dancing. And I've always been inspired by the late Selena Quintanilla. That's where I got the Quintanilla last name from.
I'm the referee and the coach, and I'm like, you stupid idiots, and I'm constantly yelling at the TV.
That is Jeff every single week during football season. Since the mid-90s, he's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is every week.
It
ain't changing anytime soon, buddy. Is it your year again?
I know it's coming.
God damn it.
It's always your year.
Gymnasts and cheerleaders have like eternal beef with each other.
Yes, they do. Yo, no, that beef is real. I know.
Remember you saying that you're a huge Disney and Harry Potter geek?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Hercules, hands down. I grew up watching that.
Yes.
Like, it's the best Disney movie. I will fight anyone who tells me otherwise.
So I got into AW, I was less than a year in.
Okay.
I was maybe like 15 matches in. And so at some point I was wrestling more in AW than I did on the indies. And so I was like, okay, I'm going against these top names and I've proven I can hang with every single one of them, so I am top tier. That's how it all came about.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Get it? Got it.
Bloody freaking hell, these damn tournaments all over the place and the damn summer weather! Ah! Oh, but I digress. Here we freaking go again. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to the weekly moderated conversation of wrestling madness. That is the Saturday Shenanigans. I am, of course, once again your host for this evening's festivities, whether they are prolonging or whether they are shortcoming. It is me. It is I. It is once again, yes, the Supplemental Foster. Good to see you all once again. So thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, Super Chat or PayPal the Passions. It's as simple as that. It's good to see Darren G and Nathan Banks and, of course, Safet and all of you also tuning in the chat, whether or not it's on YouTube feeds or across our X. I also want to give a special programming note. Apologies for not covering, of course, this round of the Owen Harper Tournament women's side. I will be doing a pre-coverage of Dynamite, covering Hazuki and Persephone's match Wednesday night, somewhere between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, ahead of covering this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite on Summer Blockbuster. Please stay tuned. Apologies to all of you that was expecting that. But again, priorities over passions, and also this weather has brought nothing but absolute madness. So I hope that you all are being the heat and staying cool and enjoying life and enjoying wrestling too, whether or not it's with ice cream, a popsicle, or a cold Mountain Dew. This episode brought to you for now by Voltage. With that being said, it's been an interesting week. We got a very short, simple, but overall fun schedule for you tonight for the festivities. We're going to look at the tournament turmoil that is, of course, AEW and WWE with the King and Queen of the Ring, as well as both Owen Hart Foundation tournaments, where they stand, how we feel about each one of the 4 tournaments, how we picked our winners for any of them yet, what we're more looking forward to, which one's been better executed, and what you may have done differently. Then from there, we're going to look at a clash in Italy that was as cheap as DiGiorno pizza of a freaking oven out of your local home versus a masterpiece in Mexico with the mask versus mask match that might have been the best match that WWE's done in the last decade plus. And that's saying something for the fair where you actually found a diamond in the rough. Ain't that some crazy crap? And all you had to do was find somebody differently to produce it. Ain't that some crazy crap? Then we're going to go from there. We're going to bring the center of attention back to, of course, Brittney Brooks and discuss our outlook with her interview. Thank for those that tuned in, by the way, earlier this week. And then after that, I think we'll just close things out with what I usually like to call Open Mic Night, where we'll look at all things wrestling, get some last wrestling outlooks from everybody on the panel, and see if you all have anything in the chat that you want to try and dictate the conversation with, or want to hear what's on our mind about, whether it's already happened, whether it's for coming, or whether or not you just want to throw spaghetti at the wall and shoot the breeze on something. Now that I gave you all of that itinerary, without further ado, as I look to be that reliable outlook on all things professional wrestling for It's Saturday. You know what that means. And I am never alone, as we always have a reliable co-host. ... Speaking of which, reliable, Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz is in the fray. You can tell that he's staying focused as a fan in the background that I'm clearly hearing along the way. How are you this evening? Good to see you. How are you feeling about this Saturday, and how are things going for you and your family too?
I'm fine. It was a week where I got to watch wrestling to distract me from all the current BS that's going on in personal lives. But, you know, I'm here. No rest for the weary, as they say. So, let's just go.
And fair enough. Of course, you've been covering Tournament of Survival. Shout out to GCW, by the way. Today, told you haven't already. Game Changer Wrestling and Brett Lauderdale. The incredible work they all do there. And thank you again for all your support, by the way, especially with the time we've been able to engage with in and out of the Celebrity Studios, including during Vegas weekend. But yeah, Walter, it might be a simply reliable Shenanigans tonight. And honestly, I think that'll be all right. So, without further ado, Walter, Simply Reliable Studios community, Saturday Shenanigans spectators and on-goers, professional wrestling fans, enthusiasts, on-goers, and sports entertainment enthusiasts. Let's get right into it. So, Walter, I know that March is about March Madness. Now, I don't give one iota about basketball, football, baseball, hockey, sacra. I don't care who I pissed off. I'm going even further. I don't care about Pokemon, Star Wars, Star Trek, or what you call the Christian lifestyle. So again, I don't give a fuck who I pissed off. I'm more controversial, but I'm more straightforward than Howard Stern. How's that for a hot take? Nonetheless, real talk, let's go ahead and talk about what's been called, I like to call, tournament turmoil. So of course, WWE and AEW, they like to feed us a summer of tournaments ahead of the tournament of the year, in my opinion, G1 Climax, not to miss the Continental Classic that happens in November, December. Of course, we have the King and Queen of the Ring, and we also have the Owen Hart Men's and Women's Foundation Tournament. We've had matches on Monday Night Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown. We also have matches on Collision. Again, we might bring you all spoilers, so you have been warned, as there will be spoilers throughout the feed here. If you have not kept up with the wrestling, especially on their national time, considering the Fed has been in Italy. And of course, we've already gone through the week of All Elite Wrestling. So, Walter, simply put, what's your outlook so far on the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments or the men and women's own application tournaments? Have you kept up with any? Has any one of them impressed you to a degree or any match? Have you already put out your winners across all four? And would you do anything differently? Go right down the bull list and just let your mind wander freely. And again, praying for you for whatever you're facing. Again, for the finish mentality. God bless you, Yamano. Go ahead and speak.
I haven't picked my winners exactly, except. Alright, my birthday is in June, and WWE always did the King of the Ring as a June pay-per-view, so that was my WrestleMania, you know. Growing up, that was pretty much the only pay-per-view we could afford every now and then, like, aside from WrestleMania, so she would get that. So it really means a lot. I am a little disappointed in the brackets. I think it's a little obvious with the men's what's going to happen, if I'm being honest. So he's like kind of the only one that I picked was, I think Opa's just gonna run rancid through it. Hopefully I'm wrong, and they like do something else. Like maybe he gets to the finals and Brock screws him out of it, and then that's how you get to the third match. I actually hope that's what happens. So I'm hoping that's wrong. Spoiler alert.
Alright, fair enough.
Hold on, I'm giving time for the spoiler, because him, Obafemi, and Dominic are the only ones so far that have advanced on the med side. How the hell Dominic Mysterio beat Braun Breaker, Chick Williams, and Damian Priest?
He probably lied, cheated, and steal it. Yes, I mean, are we really surprised? Hey-oh, continue.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And that, I didn't even actually see SmackDown. I saw Raw. I didn't see SmackDown, but the fact that that's what's going on to happen. The Queen of the Ring, I'm more happy with. My only downfall, my only like kind of gripe with it is why is the women's champion involved in the Queen of the Ring tournament? That don't make sense.
If you're gonna pull out Nick Robinson and says it makes sense, you're more foolish than that Canadian not to put it. Continue.
I don't get why the whole point of the tournament is the winner gets a title shot. Right. So what are you gonna do if Liv wins? Make her an undisputed champ? You're gonna make her face mommy?
Define the women's championships ever. They did with Roman Reigns, and look what he had for 1,300 days. I mean, they could try and do something like that. Continue.
You barely booked the women's division correctly now. You're gonna fucking make an undisputed title and have even less people to work with. Like, don't shoot yourself in the foot, please, WWE.
They haven't done that already.
They always do it.
I think he's
sort of like how you do with the karaoke's. He always just despite it.
Well, look, I don't gotta worry about anybody tonight freaking bet me $25 that I'm gonna get right down the blazer and sing "Swing Caroline." So,
yeah.
Continue.
But the women's is what? It's Liv, Becky, Lexa, Chelsea. Originally, because I don't know the results. Jade, Soul, Lyra, and Charlotte. Right? Did I get everybody?
I believe that you did, but as always, I'm happy to provide cigarette.
Okay. Alright. I'm hoping that.
I know Io's guy advanced, of course.
Yeah, I know Io did.
Monday Night Raw. Alright.
And I didn't.
As far as the women, did they have another match on SmackDown?
Maybe. I didn't catch SmackDown. I forgot what the hell I was watching Saturday. I meant Friday, yesterday.
Let's see here. Quarterfinals, King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, quarterfinal, Io Sky. Oh, Raquel Rodriguez. What?
Oh, yeah, Raquel.
Yes, advanced.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, I read that. Wait, I didn't even know she was in it. I didn't name her. Hold on.
Dude,
did she
the bracket for you. I got it for you on my screen, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let's talk about it. So,
is she the one that I forgot then? Okay, yeah. Alright, I see it. Is that for you?
We're both hot-headed, so continue. I got the bracket date for you. So, as far as this goes, the only advance we know is the right-hand side. Io Sky advanced, and so did Raquel Rodriguez. So that semifinals is set. It will be Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez on the right side, because for those that can't read it, it's fatal four-way matches for the quarterfinals, one-on-one for the semifinals, and a one-on-one for the finals that will happen at Night of Champions. The other two matches on the left-hand side have not happened yet.
If you give me a Green versus Raquel Rodriguez final, I'm be jumping for joy, dude. I would love that final. Yeah, me too. Chelsea Green, but they probably will give it to Raquel so that the final nail in the coffin, the Judgment Day, finally happens. But how long have we been calling for Judgment Day? I mean,
you might as well be poking a dead at this.
Yeah. Exactly.
So as far as the women's side goes, the left-hand side, you just want Chelsea Green, the face of America, our rightful leader, to succeed. You don't get a damn about the other 7.
Exactly. Well, I like Sol. I love Sol Ruka, but you just won the Intercontinental Champion. Can we focus on that? I understand the brackets came out before she won the title, but Becky had the title, and she was in this tournament too. This doesn't make sense.
The trope of the nut. I think the chat has the same thing as you. If I'm looking at this bracket, I'm going on the. I don't want Liv Morgan to advance, but I feel like they're going to give it to her because again, she's the champion. You gotta protect her. That's the Lynch for that dinner. Otherwise, you lose that bracket. Becky Lynch is back in the World Championship picture. I can see Roxanne and Liv kind of having a flop with Liv on her way to the final, and that's how Liv loses. As far as the bottom match, I want to see Lyra succeed. The fact they already are teasing Lyra and Sol one-on-one for the Women's Regional Championship, and they already teased Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley face-to-face. I'm telling you, dude, that's the biggest 2 women on the entire W roster that you could book for a money-selling match at SummerSlam, knowing that's where this championship match is going to be. I gotta look at this bracket. Going to be, I think, honestly, because I want Chelsea to see, but again, she's already a main event without a championship. We all know she's not going to win this, unfortunately. Let's just call it spades. I see it being, I honestly can see it being Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, the frenemies, and that's how Charlotte Flair ascends once again on the throne. And I think Charlotte Flair is going to be the one on the left-hand side. As far as the right-hand side, Raquel Rodriguez and Io Sky really don't have history with Charlotte Flair, so either of those is a unique first-time encounter. But I think the bigger match, based on star power, I can see the finals being Charlotte Flair and Io Sky, and I still have Charlotte Flair taking the whole thing. Bow down to the Queen, finally becoming Queen in the ring. Doesn't it sound fitting?
Yeah, Queen without a crown. Well, I'm kind of wish
that gets a crown right here.
Perez should have been on the other side, and if you're really adamant about Judgment Day, you should have had Perez and Raquel in the final, and then boop, now Liv is like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? I can't keep control of everything, but whatever.
I'm about to say, I can't keep control of everything as I try to keep control of here. But again, folks, what do you think about your Night of Champions clean up the ring? Again, Raquel Rodriguez and Io Sky advance. Your right side is busted if you say anything else. You still have yet to figure out your left-hand side of who advances out of the floor. Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green. And who advances out of the other floor. Sol Ruka, Lyra, Curious, Charlotte Flair, and Jay KotR. So if your tournament bracket's busted, recreate it, figure out your left-hand side, see if you can call the finals, see if you can call your winner. And yes, we will be simply predicting Night of Champions during that week. Stay tuned for the upcoming schedule of a quadruple days consecutively of Super Predicting that I will be hosting for all the shows across all things wrestling. Alright, well from the women, let's go ahead to the men. Now, again, I think you've pretty much already spoken for this tournament. For those that don't know, Owen family advanced over Penta, Slopes, Chloe, Camille Case, and Dominic Mysterio. He advanced over Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest. You're heard me right. The other 2 matches have not happened yet. Sefri and Raj, Javon Evans, Tonga Loa, that is so hard to say. Ricky Saints, he's already probably buried 6 feet under. Jey Uso, L.A. Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor. Yes, you're seeing that Ryan Kidd. You haven't watched that in a while. Finn Balor is now on SmackDown. So, Walter, we got our right-hand side. Dominic Mysterio is a dead boy. We're just going to call it what it is. Roman Fenny versus Blank. Blank is dead. It's going to be
yeah, you might as well bypass him right to the finals.
So left-hand side, what you got? What you got going out of these two matches? What do you want to see happen, and what do you think the right side finals will be? Go ahead, bro.
This is tough, man. I kind of wish. Surprised Orton didn't come back and get in this tournament.
I was afraid we were going to take somebody out, like RKO out of nowhere, and then like, the fuck.
The fact that Evans is in the same match as Rollins kind of hurts because I would love Evans to at least advance one round. But
you're reaching the straws here, bro.
Yeah, but you're probably gonna do Rollins. You know what? Rollins, Oba in the finals, and I think Brock screws Oba out of it. And then Seth is your king of the ring.
So you got Seth freaking Rollins being the king of the ring to possibly challenge Roman Reigns to finally get that one-on-one match that Roman truly never beat Seth yet in. He only beat him in his qualification.
Yeah, I wish it was LA Knight. He can't catch a break. They can't give him the Money in the Bank. They can't give him the King of the Ring.
Maybe Train hasn't left the station yet, bro.
I know, but yeah, I really think Oba. Now that I have put that on, Opa's gonna get screwed out of the final by Brock Lesnar, and that sets up the third match.
Alright, well, the way I see it is this. Regardless, we know that Femi and Brock Lesnar 3 has to be happening at SummerSlam at this point, right?
Exactly,
Not only is it Brock Lesnar's stomping grounds of his amateur wrestling days in Minnesota, it literally screams we saw one-on-one, you need an effing definitive decider in this feud of the biggest fighters in the company, alright? One legit, one yet to be truly the conqueror or the ruler over the conqueror. As far as the right-hand side, yeah, if we're only looking at Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins makes the most sense. Then again, he also has that criminal history with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has been showing a different dynamic as of late when it comes to really showing that he is truly one. Now, truth be told, he's still like QotR right now, and also QotR and Rollins, no love lost. So Seth Rollins actually works both ways, honestly. I do like that idea a lot because the only way I see what's going to be losing is if Brock Lesnar gets involved. But I've already seen him get involved in Saudi Arabia versus the semifinals where Don Mysterio's actually believe he'll be king of the ring. Give me a break. That being said, as far as the bottom match goes...
Hey, his father's name is King. Right, Mysterio?
Look, it doesn't roll off. The kid's still trying to figure out what it means to lose for Jimmy.
And why isn't Gunther defending it? Wasn't he the king of the ring last year? Why isn't he defending it?
Because right now, why would you defend that when you already are involved in feuds for the WWE Championship? Undisputed WWE Championship, I'm just saying.
But you lost already.
Well, he technically, and we'll talk about that in our next topic.
I know.
Technically, he did, but he didn't. If you know, folks. We'll talk about that when we get to our second topic. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's focus on the men here. Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, I sense fallout in the bloodline sooner rather than later. Royce Keys, such a random element amongst those four men, even, honestly. Finn Balor just arrived on SmackDown. I just don't see an advance. I want to see LA Knight succeed, but I think LA Knight, again, he believes the conspiracy theory with him on Raw when it comes to Adam Pearce and bloodline favoritism. He very well might be right. I'm going to see Jey Uso and LA Knight screwing each other. Honestly, I could see Finn Balor and Seth freaking Rollins being revisited out of this tournament. Again, you want book key matches, right? I could see it being Seth and Finn, and to your point, I could see Seth involved in the finals again. It definitely keeps him away from the vapor. So, Seth versus Oba? Be a very interesting dynamic considering Seth declared Rob Piper in the future. Oba Femi is more so the future, and Oba Femi will be one hell of an anomaly for Seth freaking Rollins to try and figure out how to beat places been no one he's ever faced. So, yeah, I think I'm going with Seth Rollins and Oba Femi here, and I think I have Seth winning Night of Champions to go take on Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Cody's got an agenda. Roman doesn't. Roman needs an opponent. If it's not going to be Oba, Seth Rollins is the next best thing. The big and start.
Do you have Seth winning clean, or you think that Brock is going to do what I'm saying?
I think that Brock has to get involved here to protect Oba Femi in defeat. I can't imagine Seth Rollins being Oba clean.
Yeah. Especially remember, Brock is a former King of the Ring winner himself. He's not going to want Oba to have the same accolades he has.
Exactly. I'm just saying. And personally, with me, I'd rather have the semifinals and finals on the same night just to give the tournament a bit more of a workhorse dynamic. But I know that's not going to happen. So, again, it's got to be freaking Steph freaking Rollins for Roman Reigns. Cody's doing Cooper. All the family's got Brock Lesnar. Down Mysterio, that kid don't even deserve anywhere near a world championship. Give me a break. So,
although you do have a chance to make crazy history, because if you give it to Evans, he would be the youngest King of the Ring winner in history of WWE. Can you imagine being 21 years old and winning the damn King of the Ring? Of course they're not going to do it. I'm just saying, imagine that history would be crazy.
That'd be cool, honestly. I like the idea, but to your point, J-Von versus Roman, J-Von versus Cody, really, dude?
You never know.
The cause and effect of this. The winner of this challenges for the World Championship of their brand, might I add. Not the choice, folks, of their brand. The Undisputed WWE Championship on SmackDown, the World Heavyweight Championships on Raw, and we already talked about the women. Rhea Ripley, I think, has spoken for.
Back in the day, Jeff had a fight with Undertaker, right? Nobody thought that he was on his level, right? And what did Undertaker do? Shake his hand like, damn. You could have Evans do a crazy Roman Reigns match where Roman actually acknowledges Evans at the end of it, shakes his hand like, holy shit, you just put me through a crazy match. Okay. You know how over Evans would be if you did that?
Do you realize how much you're smoking to believe that Roman Reigns?
I'm not saying, of course it's not a thing. I'm just saying, that would be nuts.
I mean, it would be. It actually would probably make me drink a little Rusol again because I want that stuff in my system. But again, trying to stay 99.7%. It's not too far-fetched, but yet it also is very far-fetched. But I do like the way that you're thinking. But
sometimes you got to think out of the box and take some chances, especially when you have another company on the other side. I'm just saying, you got another company on the other side that's on fucking fire. Like, you need to do something.
Sorry, you were saying that you continue, but anyway.
It's okay, I set him up, you knock him down. But seriously, the way AEW's been on fire with pay-per-views, WWE needs to do something.
I mean, you know, the W Universe is complacent with contentment as long as they get their 57 advertisements in, I'm just saying. But I do understand what you mean, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's just one of those things where, like, really, you're trying to expect something big here. You're putting up daisies, you're pulling straws at this point. But either way, I think that the King and Queen are going to be, finally, my full decision. Seth freaking Rollins, based on bracket outlook. Seth freaking Rollins and Charlotte Flair. That's what I'm going with. And I'm going to stick to that unless they actually do give me a WTF. Much like how Jessie Jane beat Stunning Valkyria for the NXT Women's Championship last year and became the woman of NXT last year. And now she's on SmackDown trying to be the woman on the main roster scene. So good luck to her. But again, folks, what do you think? What is your King and Queen of the Ring? Who do you want to see head to SummerSlam and challenge for a world championship? Did you already figure out your opponents already? For Roman Reigns, for Rhea Ripley, for Cody Rhodes, for Liv Morgan. Does it lead to Judgment Day Fallout? Is it Queen versus Brutality? Is it the Shield revisited? The Architect versus the Tribal Chief, not seen since the Royal Rumble? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments section down below or in the chat. So again, speak your mind. Again, you got the left side to figure out. They have not happened yet. The right side's done. It's going to be Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. Again, the left side is figured out for the men. Ola Femi, Dominic Mysterio. The right side yet to be determined. So figure out your right side. Get your brackets in order and determine your winners for both this year's Queen and King of the Ring in WWE. And again, we'll be covering all that at Night of Champions. All right. Well, as we segue from one tournament, teleporting in for a moment, it looks like, to maybe add 2 cents, because I wasn't sure if he was going to be here. Let's see what regular JJ Williams has to say real quick. Hi, JJ. Welcome to the Shenanigans. How are you? What's going on? Can't hear you. We're live, pal.
What happened? Audio?
Yeah, JJ right now is playing the mind game. So he'll figure it out. And you have entered the Twilight Zone. And you know what? It is what it is. Okay, so moving on from there as he figures that out, and I'll just focus on the actual DM stuff here. Let's go away from the King and Queen of the Ring to the Owen Hart Foundation tournaments, and we will kick things off with the women. And as you are seeing right now, spoiler alert, is a rematch from the Walter Pyramid. Azuki got the roll up and was able to take down the gods of the underworld with a bad eye, by the way. Persephone, a great match, and yes, folks, I will be covering that prior to the Dynamite Watch on this Wednesday. Stay tuned, I am going to, damn it, give you the full coverage of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. But as you saw this Wednesday, if you watched Dynamite, thank you for those that did tune into the watch along, by the way. Of course, we saw the wild card was returning CEO. Maybe with a slightly more humble version of her theme, still nowhere near humble. Was able to submit Alice Windsor in getting her win back, and the Alice Windsor beat her for the Brett Pro Undisputed British Women's Heavyweight Championship. So yes, Walter, it's Mercedes Monet. She's back in the game, and she's taking out Hazuki once again. These two have not faced each other since they challenged each other at the end of this Women's Championship back at the Walter Pyramid several years ago, where Hazuki had her first mainstay singles match in the States. And Hazuki had an incredible main event match. I love the women main event, by the way, on Collision. Go watch it, folks. And as you also know, Athena, of course, qualified at double number against Hirakawa. And now the Sun God, former Marigold and Anu Women's champion, Saray, will take on Triangle Madison's Sky Blue this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. Kind of wish I was Cincinnati, but it is what it is for always matches. At Summer Blockbuster. And of course, these matches will culminate in our semifinals. That, of course, will also culminate in the finals at the pay-per-view for AEW to well at this point, Forbidden Door, where the winners of the Owen Hart tournaments will go on to all-in challenge for the respective AEW Men's and Women's World Championship. So, Walter, talk to me about your thoughts of this year's Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. What do you think of the bracket shaping out to be? Have you figured out your semifinals? Do you think the finals going to be? Do you got your winner? How do you think they're doing it so far? And overall, have you followed any of it? Go ahead.
Yes, I followed it. I do like the what they're doing with the women's. I knew I begged it. I begged the wild card to be Mercedes. I'm not the biggest Mercedes fan.
I blame you!
But it just made sense for her to get the chance to defend it because you couldn't do it with Hangman.
Damn it, I know!
Besides, it's another version of her, and you had to cleanly give up all the titles you had to try to chase the main title.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of another version, let's try version 2.0 trying to get JJ Williams. JJ, engage.
Check 1, 2.
There we go. Now I can hear you. How are you doing, bro?
I can barely hear you guys, though. There's like a loud something in the background.
That's Walter's fan because it's hot as bleep, and you know that. So, again, it is what it is with that as he tries to stay alive. So, like the Bee Gees, we'll go to Walter, and then you can mute if you want. That way Walter can speak and also keep his head cool and his thoughts cool. But that being said, JJ, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well.
All right. Good deal. Well, while we got you here and Walter tries to cool off, maybe go get the Klondike bar, let's go ahead and rewind back to what we were talking about. Me and Walter gave our outlooks towards the Queen and King of the Ring tournaments, our winners, our losers, our outlooks on the results so far. So let's go ahead and pick the Renegades' mind. Not to the predicting, but your outlooks on the tournaments in both kinds. Of course, you probably haven't kept up with all of it because there's bigger priorities versus this mid passion. But let's go ahead and see if you got your winners booked still alive and pinned in for the Queen and King of the Ring tournaments. We'll start with the men, Olba, because I feel like that's the one you're going to say. But go ahead and speak your mind, knowing that right now the right side has yet to be spoken for. The left side has been figured out. It's Oba Femi versus Dominic Mysterio in the semifinals. So go ahead and speak your piece.
Yeah, I feel like Seth is taking that fatal four-way. No ifs, ands, or buts. The real question mark is that last match. Because I could realistically see any of those four taking it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jay's already been champion, so I could see him using this as a vehicle to get back to it.
Try what she's blessing.
LA Knight, yeah, long overdue.
Long overdue, long understatement.
Royce Keys versus Obafemi, take my money. You know, and then Finn Balor. long
Who just
overdue.
got drafted to SmackDown, by the way. Just want to put that out there. Continue.
Drafted or just casually moved?
Transfer portal, if we're going to be technical, but both ways, you're not wrong. Continue.
But I feel like whoever wins that last match, Seth is going to beat them. So then is it Seth and Oba or Seth and Dom in the finals?
That is the question.
Let's see, JJ. Had this great minds think like you didn't get to hear what I said, so let's see.
This is true. I mean, Oba would be the odds-on favorite, but Dom has the Judgment Day. So would Shenanigans be afoot to allow Dominic Mysterio to upset Oba Femi? And you still protect Oba in that loss for him because it would have taken Shenanigans to do it. You know?
Well, again, JJ, I just put this out here for you while you and Walter, again, have ESP, even though you're in different countries of California, some would say. I'll say again, we think Oba Femi will be screwed due to Shenanigans some point in this tournament. But continue.
I don't know, though. Like, for me, I still think Oba's taking this. I think it's Brock Lesnar 2002 revisit.
Okay.
I have said it since Oba came up to the main roster. Brock took the O2 King of the Ring on the way to becoming champion at SummerSlam.
Correct.
I think Oba's going to take King of the Ring on his way to becoming champ at SummerSlam.
And you think that will be Oba's crowning moment?
I believe it'll be his destiny, yes.
Destiny. Wordplay. I'm not going to botch it there. I'm going to.
But you can't botch me because that wasn't a botch.
I know. I said I'm going to botch you. Did you not hear me clearly? Now you did botch my last sentence. So botch. Now I got you.
Because I know you're not a big movie guy. I did that on purpose.
Oh, you.
That's a George McFly Back to the Future.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
You know I don't watch movies.
Exactly.
Anyways.
That's what I'm saying. You can't botch it because he goes in to drop some game on what would become his future wife, and he calls her his destiny. Destiny.
All right, fair enough. Well, either way, the density of this tournament seemed very easy to navigate between Oba Femi and Seth freaking Rollins, pretty much being your top two names to win this freaking thing. And again, the right side yet to be spoken for. Yes, Walt, I see your hand roll.
Interesting. We said great minds think that we all have the same two in the finals. It's just JJ. We said that it's going to be Seth and Oba. And then Brock is going to interfere and not let Oba win because he doesn't want Oba to get the same accolades he does. He doesn't want him to become a King of the Ring and then go on to SummerSlam and do that. He's like, you're just mimicking my career, and he's going to stop him from doing it. And it leads to Oba versus Brock at SummerSlam because it's Brock's hometown, and that's where you get that third match.
Possible, but if Brock is going to retire at SummerSlam, then I wonder if Gunther is still the plan. That's the only reason why I'm keeping Oba open.
Fair enough. I mean, but again, Gunther's already tied up in the undisputed WWE Championship. They just had a confrontation segment on SmackDown about them. They probably are going to run back. Cody and Gunther too, probably not champions. What a crazy concept. The world champion is being defended at this show. So it sounds like Gunther's already spoken for. And as far as SummerSlam plans go, again, I think you literally could tear the original itinerary up into 100 pieces. So I'm just saying, and as far as this goes, if Brock brings Shenanigans, Seth and Roman have the long-term cancer of Roman has yet to beat the Architect cleanly. Hell, the last time they faced each other was the Royal Rumble several years ago, and Roman got disqualified because he threw a damn hissy fit. He's never beat Seth one-on-one cleanly, so there's still that unchecked box there. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right.
That's
well,
fair, but I feel like we don't need King of the Ring to get that.
I trust me. Walter and I already talked about you don't need this to do what should make sense, but this is WWE, and it's probably going to be the avenue they're going to take.
Seth Rollins has got a ton of accolades.
Yes.
At this point in his career, he doesn't need King of the Ring.
I agree. But still.
It's like how they gave Cena the IC champion for a month and a half just so he could be a Grand Slam.
And, exactly. And again, Braun Breaker is already eliminated, so unless Braun screws Seth, I think the matchup in the top right is spoken for.
We shall see.
Just saying. All right, well, from the men to the women, Charlotte Flair. Again, the right side is spoken for. It is Io Sky versus bleep, 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 bleep. Raquel Rodriguez actually won the match on SmackDown. So Io versus Raquel is the semifinals on the right. The left is yet to be accomplished. I imagine they both will be figured out this week. So you got the women's heavyweight champion, Liv Morgan, former Canelo champion, Women's Bliss, Chelsea Green, who should already be the face of America and the WWE Women's Champion, Soruka, Brittney Canelo champion, Lyra Kerr, who challenged her and so said yes. So that singles match is on ballot. Charlotte Flair, of course, the queen already of WWE, and the greatest rival to be Ripley and Jade Cargill, because gotta give Jade Cargill another accolade. But also, she is a former, of course, queen of the ring, beat Asuka, of course, to win this tournament last year, ironically. So JJ's right side spoken for, left side, what do you see happening? What do you think needs to happen? And did you already figure out your queen of the ring? Because in my opinion, if it's going to be Rhea Ripley, that's going to be spoken for, because Judgment Day storyline already speaks for Liv Morgan. I say the only thing you got big enough to book at SummerSlam is literally Rhea versus Charlotte Flair. Because Charlotte's already teased that intensity that she wants that championship back. And Charlotte was the one that made Rhea a star, not the other way around. So again, could happen. But what do you think? Speak about this tournament, JJ.
Let's see if JJ goes on the same tangent I went, because I went on the tangent before you came in here to the fact that Liv is in this tournament for no reason when she's the champ.
Yeah, well, first off, I'm just going to say this before I give it to JJ. I am really tired of both of you sharing a damn brain. You all are ridiculous. Go ahead, JJ. Speak your mind.
Well, okay. There's a lot of people on this side of the bracket that everybody knows how I feel about them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can do a freaking John Oliver roast with JJ tonight if you wanted to, honestly, and I would welcome it, but go ahead.
The whole Charlotte Rhea thing on the surface makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But again, going back to what I just said about Seth, why does Charlotte need this accolade?
Answer.
Because she's the queen, so you're giving her the queen of the ring so she can call herself Queen Charlotte like she doesn't already call herself the fucking queen?
I mean, she was born to be the queen. Let's just call it what it is, but continue.
I'm not going to go on the tirade about Liv being in this because I feel like it's beating the proverbial dead horse's head that is found in the bed in The Godfather.
Yeah. I understood that reference.
The only, based off of reports, the only reason Liv is in here is because Stephanie Vaquer isn't cleared yet. So that is why Liv is in this, is to give her something to do until she gets cleared. Which makes me wonder if Liv won't go all the way to the finals.
I don't have her there.
But you said that the other side is Io and Raquel.
Yes, I did. And I know
why not give ourselves a Liv and Raquel finals?
Yeah.
Stephanie returns, costs Liv the finals. Now Raquel has a dub over the champion, and the winner gets a shot at SummerSlam. So now you've got Raquel already having beat Liv, going to SummerSlam to challenge Liv for the title. And then where does Roxy lie? Does she cost Liv the title? Does she cost Raquel her shot at the title? ... I think that's the more intriguing story.
It's the only story out of the damn women in WWE right now.
Well, but you're talking about Flair and Rhea, and I'm sorry, I don't want to see that again.
Well, guess what? WWE doesn't give a damn. WWE doesn't care about a fan's opinion, even if one has 250% better creative than the 15 producers not named Bobby Roode, Paul Levesque, and Bruce Pritchard on the WWE main roster, where Mark Calloway and Pete Dunne just gave us a match of the century down in Mexico that we'll talk about in our second time. With all due respect, JJ, and you are beyond brilliant at prediction scores, I will always buy into you before I buy into the damn current product. It goes like this. The only current story for the women in WWE is the Judgment of the Judgment Day. The long-term big money match for WWE, where they care more about that versus a fan's freaking pleasure in Charlotte Flair and Ripley.
Well, and then you want to get the long-term big money match on the biggest stage that you can, which isn't SummerSlam.
It's 2 nights, JJ. They're trying to turn it into WrestleMania Timu. I'm just saying.
But it's not, and it never will be.
Does it mean that they won't try to make it that?
And they can try to make it all they want. That doesn't mean it will be.
Yeah, it's still going to be one night of advertisements and the other night actual wrestling. I guarantee
you can sit here and you can try to discredit Chase University all you want. That doesn't mean it's not a university.
It's not a university. It never will be. It never was.
And yet you enrolled for one night.
Yeah, you all got one night. I immediately left the premise, never to see it again. I think I left my graffiti there talking about get some accreditation. Anyway, and it's probably still on the walls of its rubble. Now, anyway, thank you for that, JJ. So again, folks, that's our outlooks on the king and queen of the ring. As we go from one company's tournaments, let's go to the others where they might be more cut and dry, but let's see how we feel about the dynamics so far. And we will start things off with the men, because the bruv still has a chance to fulfill a dream, not for just himself, but for his country. As, of course, AEW brings us again the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. There you, of course, see the bracket. And again, I will be covering the match I missed from Collision 9. Apologies, folks. Prior to Dynamite coverage for Summer Blockbuster, the updated bracket goes as follows. We know that Swerve Strickland beat Bandito in a hell of a match of legal proportions and risk at Double or Nothing. Kyle Casanova, Brody King, big man slapping meat, as I always love. It was another banger and thriller and hard-hitting dude with those two. But Brody King got the last legal lariat in to advance. So we know now will be Brody King versus Swerve Strickland. And again, the finals of this tournament will have to happen at the Forbidden Door. On the other side of the bracket, Mark Davis buried Jungle Jack Perry with a pile driver, and of lethal proportions, an insane main event Wednesday night where I almost had out-of-body experience. Will Ospreay was finally able to put down Big Dunsilla Mark Davis with the new flying armbar, Dev Ground finally, and tapped him out, which means Will Ospreay is officially one of the finalists in this year's men's Owen Competition Tournament. Again, this Wednesday at Summer Blockbuster, we will find out the other half as Brody King takes on Swerve Strickland. Bottom line, this year for the men, folks, it's either Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, or Brody King. The winner goes on to AEW All In the challenge for the AEW Men's World Championship, currently held by everyone's favorite scumbag, Maxwell Jacob Freeman MJF, who already has Kyle Fletcher, Andrade El Idolo, Kevin Knight, and Mark Briscoe breathing down his neck after beating Bruce this past Wednesday in a great opening bout on Dynamite. And again, folks, we'll be covering Summer Blockbuster this Wednesday, so you will see us covering Swerve Strickland and Brody King, and also the women, which we'll talk about here shortly. So that being said, JJ, again, if it's not Will Ospreay, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I mean, is it really that obvious? With this whole idea of the Death Rider seeing this thing through to the end, when is the end? It came to a bittersweet end last year at Double or Nothing for the bruv. And the Death Riders gave him the second chance to once again become the ace of AEW in his own mind. Ace, a poetic word. But for all we know, this could be Will Ospreay's last chance. Because how long do you hold out for the moment, knowing that the moment could happen in the Bronx country, literally in a building that is around the corner, probably, from his house and family, Wembley Effing Stadium? So, JJ, your thoughts on this tournament. Go ahead and speak. Again, it's Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and Brody King. Talk about what you think is going to happen this Wednesday. Swerve and Brody King. What you got for the finals? Who you got as your winner? And give your outlook towards this. Go ahead, bro. I know you haven't watched it, but I know you can give a very creative outlook, simply put, for it. And that's why I always love and respect about you. The floor is yours.
It's going to be Ospreay and Swerve based off of the people that are left. And Ospreay is going to win. This is so freaking predictable.
You don't see them any way of changing it at all. You don't see
No.
any way of them to screw this up.
Not at all.
Not
at all.
Not one.
Not at all, because we have a heel champion.
Swerve and MJF have never faced each other one-on-one, though, in AEW.
And even if, dot.
Yeah, big if.
Even if they pull the trigger on Kenny by God Omega at Redemption, they're not going to do Swerve and Omega. They're going to give us Ospreay and Omega.
That's a hell of a subtended you put in there, because I didn't even think about Redemption playing a factor and all in, but that's a very real possibility. Now,
a lot of the people in the spaces on X have hyped themselves up to the fact that Kenny Omega is going to win the title in Canada at Redemption. And I'm like, okay, I like Kenny and all. And Redemption, the title of it, considering the diverticulitis, Canada, him getting that second shot, the story there makes sense. But do we really take the title off of MJF
again
earlier this year for Darby to have it for a cup of coffee, to put it back on MJF, just to take it back off of him after a month and a half, to give it to Kenny to hold for a month so he can hand it over to Ospreay?
I don't think they would ever do that.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't see that happening with this title.
Now, I've said a number of times, and this goes for all companies, but AEW, since its inception, seems to be the guiltiest party here. We don't need freaking long-ass title reigns with our world title for every freaking reign. Doesn't need to happen. So this would be going against that. But then you bitch about it being hot potato.
Yeah, well, regardless, you're going to have fickle fans on either side, JJ. You damn have to please the
other. I feel like I'm already being one of those fickle fans, because what have I said on Simply Predicting, like the last couple of streams we've done? When was the last time we had a championship bounce back and forth during a feud? So it's like, I feel like I'm being one of those people.
Well, here's the thing, JJ.
I feel like it's one thing when it's a mid-card title. I feel like it's a different thing when it's a world title. And especially with it being Kenny that's in the conversation, I feel like it cheapens it for Kenny to only let him have it for a month. It was one thing when they did it for Brian, because we kind of knew he was on his way out. They gave him the big victory. They let him hold it until they went to, Washington, to Seattle, and they let him drop it. He had a nice little 2-month reign because we knew he was on his way out. I would rather see Kenny be the one to dethrone Ospreay down the line, as opposed for him to win it and then lose it to Ospreay after only a month.
I could accept that, honestly. I like that outlook, actually. I do like that outlook.
So that's where I'm coming from on this one. But I think everybody and their mama and, Madam Cleo from the Psychic Friends hotline and Zoltar and, Dr. Green Thumb and everybody out there.
Hell?
The Magic 8 Ball, even before the brackets were announced, is Will Ospreay winning the Owen. No fucking duh, you stupid piece of shit.
Okay, first off, I don't know an 8 Ball that has that sort of print on its piece.
I do. It's a ghetto 8 Ball.
Well, that's why you don't buy it. You don't
You
trust
can find it at the Compton swap meet.
Okay, first off, Oakland doesn't have it downtown, and South Central LA, that's a dangerous place. But obviously, you have an outlook on this, and again, I appreciate it, and I can understand where people are coming from. Again, I don't think like that, though, but I'm optimistic in hearing that thinking and giving my fair thoughts. I'm not just going to call you a mark or just, obliterate you with a stupid, empty insult or a repetitive nature of a word that has no conduit or conduct or meaning. And again, we're looking at the key talent here at AEW. We are looking at the fact that Kenny Omega did say, I'll always be there for you, Ospreay, but Kenny Omega wants that title. Yes, he's Canadian. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, MJF might as well be your top 3 of AEW. John Moxley, maybe you put him in the conversation because of the fact he's been the non-stop workhorse of the company there every damn night, as much if not more than Tony Khan. It is what it is. We agree or disagree. That's why he's both the dark and the light. But I appreciate that outlook. All right, Walter, let's see if you...
I'll go you one better, Dave.
Oh.
Ray Charles could see Ospreay winning.
Hello, Dave.
And he's blind like Stevie, but he's also dead. So, I'll just top that one. Ray Charles could see it.
All right. I see we're doubling down here. Let's stop before y'all both bust. All right. Walter, hit me. Let's see if you share the same mindset as JJ. Your outlook on the men's Owen Foundation tournament. Did he say anything? No, excuse me. Did he not say anything that was on your mind or what you were going to say? Or pretty much is it just copy and paste? Go ahead.
He put in the private chat, give him a second, his mic cut out.
Oh, that's always fun. Technical difficulties. Always.
Well, if it's not him, then it's me, right? Someone's got to get the virtue award.
I thought that only exists in no DQ, but say out of no DQ. All right, well, I'll tell you what. We'll just go ahead and get the Walter summary for both then as he looks at his work or his hardware. So from one tournament to another, and as you've been vocal about the women in one company, at least you are, unlike most people, and again, you and I are both hard freaking proponents of being, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah. Consistent. Let's talk about the women. Your worst nightmare's back, but there's the obvious. And yes, tonight, and again, I'll cover that match. Spoiler alert, Hazuki beat Stephanie. Stardom is still in this thing. Athena, of course, beat Chicago at Double or Nothing. And yes, JJ, the wild card was Mercedes Moné. She beat Alex Windsor on Wednesday. Game bout via submission. Sky Blue is going to take on the Sun God Saray from Stardom this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. Again, prayers are passions. That's why I'll be covering it, but it's okay. So, bottom line, 2 Stardom people potentially. 2 or 3 AEW people potentially. Last year's Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament winner, possibly consecutively. And again, as we talked about, the winner, of course, will be Sarah Bandor, and we'll go on to literally AWL into Champion Women's World Championship, currently held by Thekla Toxic Spider, who has decided to put death out on Stardom, which really has me intrigued on the Stardom dynamic. Then again, you know how much I hold Stardom in a higher regard than anything else on the planet in women's wrestling. Though Pro Wrestling Eve had a great 150 show. Congratulations to them, by the way. Oh, and here's a little spoiler note. If you haven't already, go subscribe to Pro Wrestling Eve's YouTube channel. Support that inclusive all-women's wrestling promotion. And congratulations to Miya Yamashita, once again, the brand new Pro Wrestling Eve international champion, overcoming Chris Statlander. Congratulations to Mia Yamashita, once again winning an accolade, a promotion that was heavily a strong part of her career, Pro Wrestling Eve. Now that title will have a Japanese flag instead of America on it. Congratulations to Miyu and a great run by Statlander. And now back to regularly scheduled programming. Hi, JJ. So let's go ahead and talk about the women in this year's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Do you see AEW making history? Do we get a consecutive winner? Do we rip the page up? Does Athena finally rise out of Ring of Honor? Or are you shocked to maybe see someone from Stardom win? Or could Sky Blue rise to the occasion? And could we see her and Thekla maybe finally getting a one-on-one? Sky Blue and Kyle Fletcher have been very vocal about becoming the faces of AEW. And I will just put that out there. As, of course, Julia Hart will probably be involved in Survival of the Fittest to kind of brand new TBS champion. Further details to come on that. So let's go ahead and get your thoughts eloquently on the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Your outlook so far, your winner, bracket buster, ... what if you have one? And what does it lead to at all in your, let's call it what it is, humble, professional, honest opinion? Go ahead, good sir.
Okay, well, before I get into my little diatribe here, what is it that you said Thekla was calling herself or trying to say about Stardom?
She did not put war out on Stardom. She said, I'm calling for the death of Stardom, after literally spinning out the Stardom logo and flipping it off.
Okay, so with a declaration like that, one of the Stardom women should be the winner of this tournament. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. But with a declaration like that, at Forbidden Door, that's supposed to have talent from all these other fucking companies, it should be, you know, a Stardom winner. However, the finals is going to be Athena and Mercedes.
You don't see it going any other way?
Nope.
Would you be surprised to see it go any other way on either side?
If it went any other way, I would probably shit myself.
Now I want to see that happen, with all due respect. I want to see, sometimes I got nothing but love for JJ. I always will. He's a brother in wrestling for life. But I love it when I can make JJ eat crow in predictions or storytelling when he is surprised by his outlook not following through. With all due respect to you, good sir.
Just like how much I love when you put your foot in your mouth. Traditionally on karaoke nights, and you say people don't have money, gotta pay bills, blah blah blah, and then the next thing you know, kaping, there's that super chat.
Walter
you
mentioned
gotta
it earlier.
put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah, Walter mentioned it earlier. I
Or
know.
how you had to join Chase University. You know, or the bets that I made with Datilla that made her have to watch my NXT. You know, I relish in those just like you do.
Well, I know you relish in those reliable outlooks like we relish in Walter Cruz. So pause real quick. Walter, engage, speak.
Well, the first thing they did was fuck up in the men's tournament because you had this.
Walter, time out. Pause. I just want to make sure your stuff worked. Jada's gonna finish his diatribe, and then we're.
He's talking about the women's. Okay, yeah, I see what brackets up.
But he also talked about chase your reliability, me putting my foot in my mouth, like saying no one's gonna pay $25 now for me to take off the blazer and see Sweet Caroline. Yada 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 yada.
Did I just tell you not to put your foot in your mouth a little while ago? Before JJ came in?
Everybody in the chat. No one's got money. Everyone's buying their tickets every damn Sunday. Emmanuel ain't gonna do jack shit. He's got a real job, and he's got to worry about actually making $1 versus YouTube channel that doesn't have a damn penny, because pennies are more expensive to make because the damn zinc that goes into them is more valuable than their damn worth. Now, both you shove in the shoot speaking. JJ, continue to speak on the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament.
But like I said, you know, it's like if you really want to do this right and give it the flair that Forbidden Door deserves, a Stardom person makes it to the final. Hell, you have Hazuki and Saray in the finals.
I want that. I want that. I want that.
Then both of them are battling out to see who fights Thekla for the title at All In with her declaration. Mercedes, because she doesn't win, loses her final belt. The one belt she still has. And then she can go down to ground zero and begin the rebuilding process. But that's not going to happen. It's going to be Mercedes and Athena. And the question becomes, does Mercedes become the first ever two-time Owen winner, and not just the first ever two-time Owen winner, but do it back to back?
Consecutively.
Or does Athena avenge her first round elimination from last year?
At Spring Breakthrough. Ironically enough, in Cincinnati.
So
You know, it wasn't. It was in her town, Monet's old town. Of course, it was.
That's the bigger question here, but it's going to be Athena and Mercedes, and I hate it, but I've got Mercedes doing it.
Okay. Well,
I think Mercedes winning the women's Owen is about as predictable as Will winning the men's.
Well, I hope that AEW plans to surprise you one of them. I also want to add this because as you put in our watch-along schedule, we'll do once we're done with this topic conversation. Athena is defending her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship at Global Wars, which is prior to the Forbidden Door, not necessarily prior or after to our semifinals match, but of course, that is prior to Forbidden Door where you think she's going to be in the finals. She was defending her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship versus the one person this year to beat her in singles action, looking for a whole different form of redemption against the current IWGP Women's Champion, Shuri of Stardom. Just saying. So, I'm just saying. And we all know her track record outside Ring of Honor. Just saying.
And really quickly before Walter gives his takes here, when you brought up Pro Wrestling Eve and Miyu Yamashita, I thought you were going to bring up the woman who returned to Pro Wrestling Eve at this show.
All right.
The one, the only, the artist formerly known as Alba Fire, Kaylee fucking Ray.
Damn fucking right, former Eve champion, and now she's going to take on Riho to become number one contender for Miyu Yamashita's Pro Wrestling Eve International Championship. Fuck yeah, I'm glad to see that crazy damn Scott's back. Thank you for that. That enough. If people want to hear more about me talking about Pro Wrestling Eve, you don't need to hear me. Go watch Jetta's commentary during that show. Go listen to Amanda and go check out Dan Reedsworth, who's a literal producer and owner of that promotion. And Will Ospreay, who of course helps co-produce that promotion too. Again, respect women's wrestling, the best women's promotion out of the UK, by the way. And again, I love Pro Wrestling Eve. Great 150 show. And I'm super curious to see Kaylee Ray, how soon she goes after Miyu Yamashita, or maybe after the Eve World Champion, just saying. And also, Nikki Storm may be in there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, back to our scheduled program. Go ahead.
To Zaire's point real quick, I said two-time Owen champion, not women's champion, period.
Yeah, about to say.
The first two-time Owens champion.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to put that out there.
I think he meant that same thing, but
it's okay.
Well, no, because he put the question mark, so I think he meant, Mercedes being the first ever champion, because there's been more than one two-time champion. Tony Storm's like a four-time champion.
That's timeless, Tony Storm, to you, good sir.
But all the reigns weren't as timeless. That's why I just left it at Tony.
Well, at least two of them were. And while you're waiting for a double take for the timeless wonder that still holds the greatest spotlight in the AEW women's roster, we still are trying to figure out her bloody murder. And Mina Shirakawa is hell-bent on figuring that out. But she's also out of the tournament.
I'm still wondering, complete side tangent, did Mina do it? And that's why she hasn't No. Hear me out, Noah. Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
I'm gonna.
I love Mina. We all love Mina. We all want more Mina.
Of course we do.
Mina has been getting ran through like a hooker in downtown LA.
Damn. Me and Walter both on the same page with every.
Okay.
But no lies detected. Continue. Fuck me.
That tells me she needs a change. She's been on this quest for how long now? Close to 2 months at least?
Yes, that would be correct.
And she hasn't found anything yet. Why? Because she's the one that did it. That's why she hasn't found out who it was. She's able to keep everything at bay so that no signs point to her. But she hasn't found out who it is, and she's gone through pretty much the entire roster. Think about it. She hasn't found out who did it because she's the one that did it. Now let's cut to Rockapella for Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Well, JJ's on the case, and we still have yet to solve the mystery. That being said, thank you for that side tangent, JJ.
But think about it. Doesn't that make sense?
It does, and again, this is also the reason why I love and hate you, because sometimes you make more sense than you should, in my opinion, or the wrestling business actually should follow, but doesn't. Damn it if you're right. And I'll eat crow if you're right. I'm not going to say anything else besides that, because sometimes I know when not to put my foot in my mouth. That being said, we'll see soon enough when that mystery is revealed and whether or not it turns into a Basic Instinct clip where she becomes Sharon Stone. Never mind. I'm going down a different tangent on my own here. Hello. Walter, your outlooks of the Owen Hart Foundation. Got a little hot flashes there. Walter, your outlook on the thank you, JJ. The Adventure Race program. Walter, your outlook on the men's and women's Owen Hart Foundation tournaments. Let's go ahead and start with the women. Do you share the same outlook and possible conclusion, despite Stardom maybe being the interception for the women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament? Go ahead.
Yeah, I see Mercedes winning. I think that the whole reason she had all these titles to get her name out there, to be big. She had AEW in her back. Now, individually, she's losing all the titles, and eventually she's going to become and go after the upper echelons of the women's division and have to go after that, which, believe it or not, that'll be a banger between those two. Regardless,
they never faced each other. To be fair, the only one that faced Thekla out of the people involved here, non-Stardom, was Athena. Athena beat Thekla in Corrigan Hall when she defended her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, and that's probably the only reason why she won. If I'm being perfectly honest, and that was back last year in freaking January after Wrestle Dynasty. They haven't met each other since.
But I am in 2026, man. It's so hard to do something that's never been done before in the wrestling business. So the fact that Mercedes has a chance to be the first person to win back-to-back championships, but you also have something to do different with Athena. Imagine you give Athena the tournament. She wins. Tony says, if you really want this title shot, you're going to have to give up the ROH title because no one seems to be able to beat you. And for the first time, she's going to give up her title, which vacates the ROH champion because literally no one has been able to beat Athena. And it's like that.
If Sari beats her June 18th, she no longer will be champion. She's already beaten her once. I'm just saying. You could do the opposite, and now you did something. Think about how important you made Athena now. The fact that no one can beat her, and she had to vacate the title. And you see these tournaments, right? You know Tony loves freaking either tournaments or battle royals. You vacate the ROH title, then all of a sudden there's another tournament at ROH for the women's ROH title, or some kind of battle royal, or some shit happens where multiple women have to fight over the ROH because Tony loves his goddamn
tournament. We've already got 3 motherfucking things going on right now in AEW, and then the king. No, don't you put that into the ether, Walter. I will nightcrawler my ass, teleport to Grass Valley, and beat the shit out of you, bro.
Tony loves
smoke some of your weed, and I don't even smoke.
Whoa! Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
He loves his tournament the way a fat kid loves cake. I'm telling you, man. That multi-person matches, so you got a chance to do something before, but that's never been done either way. So that would be a hell of a finals. But yeah, I'm actually looking more forward to the semifinal of Hazuki versus Mercedes, to be honest.
And that'll be Wednesday, June 17th in Houston, Texas. But of course, Athena will be on Global Wars on the 18th, defending her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Shuri. And we'll see if Athena takes on either Saray or Sky Blue day before, or falling on a Collision to punch her ticket to the finals if applicable. Again, this coming Wednesday, folks, we'll be covering Summer Blockbuster. It's Sky Blue versus the Sun God Saray, former Marigold and IWGP Women's Champion. First time ever this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. Sky Blue, good luck. Unless Fekla says Depth to Storm gets involved here, you're in for an uphill battle, but you're honestly my dark horse that I want to see choke out the competition and rise to the occasion. But right now, I'm going to be honest here. I don't give a fuck about Athena or Monet winning this thing. I want Storm to surprise the shit out of everybody, and I'm going with my wild heart Hazuki to pound Mercedes Monet into the mat harder than anybody on the Boston Celtics, despite the fact they won a damn playoff, and book her ass out of this thing and freaking win when she should have won the Walter Pyramid when it was for the Indoor Women's Championship. I want Hazuki to win this fucking thing, so I'm going with Hazuki, hopefully. Hazuki and Sky Blue will be my dream final for Forbidden Door on so many levels, despite the fact Hazuki and Zare might be Women's Match of the Year. But I'm holding out for Hazuki. And by the way, Persephone, that damn black miss in the eye, interesting way to play it to effect for a vision, quote unquote, during her match again, folks. I will cover that prior to Dynamite, I promise you. And Persephone now might have Thekla on her crosshairs in the Triangle of Madness, who misted her, and that might have cost her her match on Collision. Spoiler in case y'all don't know. Again, I'll cover that. So I love the fact Persephone is still also involved in the conversation, considering she pinned Thekla at the end of the CMLL Grand Prix last year to win that match, and that match went for an hour that include women from all over the planet. Again, whole different sub-tangent, but just tying all stuff together when it comes to Thekla, title, history, competitors, etc. And it was a hell of a damn good main event match, by the way, between Hazuki and Persephone, because I secretly...
You guys heard it here first. Noah wants to watch Mercedes get pounded. Just saying.
Damn it, Walter! You fucking idiot! Anyway, before we go on our commercial break, Walter, your outlook on the men's tournament so far, as everyone's giving their thoughts. Again, everyone pretty much is saying Ospreay, unless you're blind and drunk on Guinness. Otherwise, do you see this any other way it could go with the fact that we still have Ben Schwartz Strickland and Brody King involvement as well, or is it cut and dry?
I think you already fucked up. Not you. The AEW fucked up because there's this chance. Will had to find himself, go to the Death Riders. On the other side, you had Claudio. Why the fuck wouldn't you do a Will Ospreay versus Claudio's final so that they can be like, holy shit, who's John Moxley going to back up, or who's the Death Riders going to back up? And now Will gets to test himself against people who have been in a dungeon with him training. Like, you really fucked that up, like, in my opinion. But
it's a fair comment, but also Ospreay did beat Kyle previously in a Continental Classic, and right now it doesn't feel like, Death Rider versus Death Rider matters at this point in this tournament. But I do see what you're saying. Continue.
Yeah, but it's as simple as this with the championship, with the tournament. What is Will Ospreay's home country?
England.
Where is All In this year?
England.
Enough said. The fucking Will Ospreay's winning this shit.
Walter's gonna die on that mountain without kissing the Blarney Stone unless he is otherwise fooled. All right, so folks, there you go again. Do you see any other people besides Ospreay when they win these tournaments? Do you see someone crazy like Hazuki, also crazy as me sometimes, winning this thing? Do you want Stardom to try and take down Thekla, who's sentenced death to that promotion? Freaking Turo Okada making Thekla eat humble pie would be absolutely hilarious. Again, though, between Forbidden Door, Redemption, All In, we got a hell of a summer ahead for us, though, when it comes to the cause and effect of the winners and some of the losers of the Men and Women Owen Hart Foundation tournaments. It's tournament season. It's tournament turmoil. It's crazier than March Madness. And somehow it might even be more or less even more clearly predictable. Damn it. Good luck to every man and woman involved in both companies, still involved in each tournament. And again, folks, We are covering, of course, the remainder of the Owen Prediction Tournament, and of course, we're covering the King and Queen of the Ring finals. We cover Night of Champions as well. Well, with that being said, speaking of coverage, speaking of tournaments, speaking of outlooks in wrestling, we are now going to take a short intermission and show you what's ahead in our upcoming watch-along schedule. But when we return, the conversation will focus on the center of attention, Brittney Brooks, where we look back on the interview with the former women's champion of FSW. That and so much more Shenanigans continue, but JJ has an intermission.
I just wanted to point out before you hit the trailer, it's going to be out of date, y'all.
I figured
it
that.
hasn't been updated before the watch-alongs for the week.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Just let it go. Continue.
Yeah, and either way, you got 90 seconds to let yourself go, get a drink, or tickle the yaki. When we come back here, we're going to be speaking about Brittney Brooks and why she is the future of this business, and of course, appreciating the time she gave us on our interview and giving our outlooks too. So stay tuned. We'll see you shortly after this.
And now for a taste of things to come.
God, double. Damn it. I hate when that happens. And as always, here at the Simple Apple Studios, we truly remind you that we encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to the wrestling. And welcome back in here once again to this edition of the Saturday Shenanigans. I have been your host for this evening's festivities with Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, the Mega Wrestling JJ Williams, and of course, joining in the fray, making a fantastic four tonight on your screens. Some points of the world, if you are of daylight today, she's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash. Hello, Ash. How are you?
I'm good. I just got back from a family get-together.
Yeah, prayers are our passions. There's no bigger priority than family, for family is forever. Treasure them and support and respect one another. So I'm glad you did that, and I hope everyone is all right. Anyway, welcome back into the Saturday Shenanigans. Good to have you here as always. Appreciate your outlook. And of course, I'm not going to interview you because I'm not Craig Ferguson, but I do know this week we have another interview. So this segment will be now transition to bring you an outlook on the future of wrestling. In one, Brittney Brooks, who's been involved in TNA, former FSW multiple-time women's champion, who gave us her time. Thank you so much, by the way. And again, you can follow her on the social medias. Of course, you can go check out the interview in the archives and also on Spotify today. But let's go ahead now and shed the spotlight on Brittney Brooks. What do you say? So, Walter, JJ, and crew, let's go ahead and talk about Brittney Brooks for a little bit. JJ, how was the interview with Brittney Brooks? Your biggest takeaways and anything else that you want to share regarding what you all had in your engagement? The floor is yours.
I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. I will give it to Walter to go into more details if you want, but I'm just going to say that this was, and this is, when I say this, this is meant as no disrespect who's ever participated in an interview with us before. And I mean, as far as like on our end, the Simply Reliable Studios end. But this was probably the most fun I think I've had with it just being Walter and I.
That's awesome.
You know, we had a nice little flow, good conversation, almost 90 minutes with the center of attention. It was just so warm. You know, it was everything that you would want. We got a lot of questions answered. We got a little personal. You know, we got to get a little bit in detail with her and Chris Bay's relationship.
Heavily, of course, a big factor in her not only motivation, but her support, of course, in her continued growth in the business.
And you know, how it felt, you know, was there any thought like that she would have to put her career on hold to take care of him? Because remember, his initial diagnosis was he would never walk again. You know, so was there ever any like, I may never be able to do my passion again because I've now got to take care of my love, my significant other.
And of course, she's also had her own knee injury as well during her career, so she can relate definitely to a leg injury. So again,
But there's a big difference between having a knee injury and breaking your neck and being told you'll never walk again.
And true that.
Huge difference there.
I'll give you that.
You know, some people, like, they become, for lack of a better term, vegetables and can never even wash themselves. They need people to wash them, to feed them. You know, this very easily could have been her future and her fate, but Chris, being who Chris is, being the fighter that Chris is, was never going to let Dr. Diagnosis keep him down. So, but we got to get like real in depth and personal and talk about that stuff. And just, if you missed the interview, I highly recommend checking it out, and I'll let Walter take it from there.
All right, Walter, go ahead and speak. I would love to know what sort of motivations did you feel Brittney Brooks shared with you and JJ? And what are some of your big takeaways from your time you had to engage with Brittney as she told her story?
She shared how passionate she is, and to get back to the Chris thing, she got real emotional. Like, she got the three of us like emotional, and you know, she detailed how rehab went. She was there to move the walker a little in front of him to make him move forward, and then move it again. Like, she got really in depth. People need to seriously check this out. And then I agree, it's one of the most fun. Well, it is the most fun I've had interviewing someone, and I think she gave us over an hour of her time. For her to take time to do that, like, it's ridiculous. Other people gave us time, but it's like the in-depth she gave us, and she answered anything. She could have avoided those kind of questions, like, I'd rather not talk about that, but she really just went for it. And I just feel like she'd allow us to get to know the real her. And I said it, and I told it to her, how her ring psychology is. For her to be 21 years old, you know, JJ mentioned to her, I thought we both thought you were like 25, 26, just based on the way you behave, the way you wrestle, and how much you know in the wrestling ring. And then she talked about her psychology, where she got the center of attention from. Is literally a song. That's why she's sitting in the car. She's like, you never know what the hell motivates you. She just heard that in the middle of driving to an arena. I think she was, or to school or to training or something, and she heard that and it clicked with her.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought, but it comes from her entrance theme. Britney Spears' Give Me More. Britney literally says in it, the center of attention, and she was like, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than using a burn book as a mean girl, I suppose.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with Mean Girls as long as you don't end up like Regina George and get hit by a bus at the end.
Fair point. Yes, folks, I have seen that movie. That's why I was able to make that reference. When I was once a wee lad, there was a point that I did watch movies, so I know some stuff. I just don't watch movies anymore. Continue.
But yeah, the light bulb went off in her head. But yeah, she just really let us in, and the fact that she even did something that not all the interview, well, basically we didn't ask people, but I mean, she did something for us that we didn't have to do, and you saw it as part of the intro. Like she gave us a little outro thing, like how Jack did. She gave us one of those, so you guys will see that soon. So like, she's just awesome. Like, and she's supposed to be this mean, conceited, pretty much bitch on TV, and it's like we both told her, yo, we know you, we cannot fucking boo you, like we can't do it. She was like, I get it, like
Yeah, they have connection.
yeah, we were like, dude, you're so good that it's like hard to root against you, it's hard to boo you, and it made her laugh. But yeah, man, literally tears, laughing, happy, and like we went through some crazy ass emotions during that interview. So please check it out in the archive.
I absolutely love anytime I can hear the vulnerabilities people might think that a human being refuses to showcase and let out can have such an impactful feeling onto others, but also brings clarity to oneself as well, because to hold those emotions in and be afraid to tell them, I think adds a deeper pressure on you because you don't know how to carry them. The fact she was that comfortable to do that with us shows how strong she is as a human being, as much as Chris Bay was in his recovery. She was probably stronger in that than Chris Bay probably was in his own high side, or vice versa. So Brittney Brooks is definitely one of those that followed for quite a period of time. Again, FSW, like I said, she literally, in my opinion, is one of the hardest workers from the Vegas area, period. Center of attention, she's the center of the strip. So again, her getting these opportunities in AEW, TNA, I definitely imagine she's going to get a tryout soon in the WWE. She is the center of this business. The fact that she has such strong psychology at 21, the fact that the youth of this business has such a hunger, a drive, a potential, an intelligence at such a young age before most veterans reach wrestling puberty in their 20s. It's absolutely amazing, but also even ridiculous. So to her, to Izzy, to everybody we've engaged with, to anybody with one iota of what it means to actually proceed in the wrestling business, nothing but love and support. So again, thank you, Brittney. Ash, did you go back at all and follow any of the interview, or are there any thoughts that you take away regarding, what you've seen from Brittney Brooks? Now, again, you're still a Canadian where your girl hasn't watched a Bret the Hitman Hart match yet, but you're very familiar with Brittney Brooks to a degree because we've covered her on multiple facets here at Superchatted Studios commentary. Anything you want to add regarding Brittney?
I haven't seen the interview, but from what I did see of her, she's really good. Like I can't wait to see more of her matches wherever she ends up at.
Oh, there you go.
I still have to go watch the interview, which I haven't been able to. So,
about to say, and of course, you can also see Brittney Brooks lately on Explosions in TNA. Maybe a sign of things to come. Wouldn't mind seeing her show up at Slammiversary and challenge for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And since they just released another talent, tag teams. What's women's tag team wrestling? Magic 8 Ball. You got an answer for me? What does it say right now? Oh, yeah. Ask again later. Fuck the Elegance brand. Oh, I'm glad that one actually said that in there. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you for that, Ash. And that being said, again, thank you, Brittney Brooks, so much for giving us your time, telling us your story. We hope nothing but continued success and growth for you and opportunities in and out of wrestling and ever what you love to pursue and to do outside your biggest passion. That's what is inside that squared circle. I imagine based on the font, you're a bit of a Disney buff as well. So I'm sure whatever's in store for you is going to be magical. And may it be that and more. JJ, I do see you thinking. Do you have something to add real quick?
I do, because Walter brought up the little video that she recorded for us. So I loaded that real quick, and I'm going to run that.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittney Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Thank you so much for that fair, kind, simple endorsement. You saw the tag, folks, so follow her the day on the act. Continue following the center of attention and see where the journey takes her and see what will be, maybe, her next biggest, I'm not going to say final because nothing's final in this business, in my opinion, but her next biggest destination. whether it's TNA, whether it's MLW, where we have a brand new featherweight champion, by the way, in Shotzi Blackheart. Just saying. Spoiler alert for those that didn't watch. Whether it's the Fed or whether it's AEW, Ring of Honor, Maple Leaf Pro, maybe she goes overseas and you see her coast to coast, Australia, England, Japan. Who knows? The center of attention will always find a way to engage with you inside the squared circle if you choose to. But she also will
She
kick your
did mention in the interview where she would like to end up, but in saying that, she said that no door is closed. She will entertain and accept pretty much any major offer. So, but she does have a preference, as most people do, and she did say where that would be.
Of course.
If you want to know, tune in. And if you don't have time to watch, we are on Spotify. Look up Saturday Shenanigans on Spotify and listen to the interview on your drive. Listen to it in your earpods on your walk, at the gym on your workout. When you're at work and you don't want Boss Man to know that you're listening to wrestling podcasts, you can listen to us without watching it.
You can do it for the app on your phone, folks. Thank you for that, JJ. And again, thank you, Brittney Brooks. All the continued best. I look forward to seeing your next match down the line, maybe in a TNA ring or AEW ring, or continuing for FSW, or wherever the winds of change and opportunities take you. And also smart thinking, not just for a wrestler, but for a human being. Life is not dictated by you, but it definitely can be shaped by the opportunities that present themselves and that you choose. So take every chance you can and see which one sticks. And don't sell for anything less than what you think you're worth. Simple as that. And that goes for everybody here in the Simple Studios as well for what you do in and out of this screen. All right. Well, thank you for that, Walter and JJ. All right. Well, let's go ahead and segue into our open mic conversation where we will not only talk about just all things wrestling, but maybe we'll talk about this versus that. First and foremost, I am going to remind you, Ash, of course, I'm crazy, as you know, but my Shinyon Pro Wrestling fan. Of course, Dominion, folks, is coming up as the final stop before G1 Climax. We know the IWGP Heavyweight Championship we defended. Kyle Newman of the United Empire will defend against Yota Tsuji in a rematch that he earned in Corrigan Hall. And we've seen how many times during Dominion season and second season where the IWGP Heavyweight Championship has changed hands. Okada. Just saying. So we'll see what happens there. And of course, leads to G1 Climax. We also know that there will also be the culmination of the Best Super Juniors finals, which now will be a rematch of last year's as Yo looks for his very first, taking on last year's winner in Japanese Young Punk, Kosei Fujita. So again, folks, stay tuned as I crazy ass. I will be covering Dominion live as I do at the Superman's brand in conjunction with Bad for Wrestling. So stay tuned for more on that. That will be in Circle Hall. I believe that is a June 14th. So stay tuned for more on that. Good luck to both. I don't even have to ask Ash who she wants to see win because, again, don't be a dickhead. Become a Young Punk. Become powered by his army today as she has the little figure. Come here, your little figurines. All right. That being said, going from one wrestling summit to another, talking about Pro Wrestling Eve, let's go ahead and talk about what happened this last weekend. So we not only had a clash in Italy, maybe worth a little bit more than a DiGiorno pizza in your local oven, versus, I can't believe I'm going to say this, a Mexican masterpiece that happened a day before that could be one of the best WWE matches in the last decade or so. So now I'm going to open the floor around the panel to bring your discussion and outlook to Clash in Italy and the mass versus mass match in AAA between revealed Chad Gable and the now only Grande Americano. Which one did you enjoy better overall? Your takeaways from both, your outlook, and was the mass versus mass everything you expected it to be and more in this world today that lacks in professional wrestling and what a match and story and atmosphere should be? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think. Ash, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on Mid in Italy and the match versus match match. Go ahead and lend your batty flats.
So I haven't watched Clash in Italy yet.
Okay, you didn't miss much. Continue.
And I did see clips and highlights of the mass versus mass match for the Americanos, and oh my god, I have to go watch that match because if the highlights are doing it justice with how batshit insane it is, then that match is right up my alley. I gotta go check that shit out.
All right, fair enough. Thank you for that sippy batty take. Again, if you want more batty breakdowns, subscribe today. Bad for wrestling. Don't be a dickhead. All right, Walter. You literally last Shenanigans was watching the match live on YouTube, and of course, folks, you can follow AAA for free on YouTube at the AAA YouTube channel in collaboration with WWE since WWE acquisitioned them. So that's one thing that doesn't cost you one damn peso. That being said, Walter, match versus Mid in Italy, your outlooks on both shows, and how good was match versus all the wrestling you have seen for a duration?
I told you guys were making fun of how I was acting in the background. I told you guys I was not exaggerating how good that match was. That fucking match was awesome, and it sucked being the only one that saw it at that time because I wanted to react right then and there. But they even played it after Clash of Italy. Like, after it, they played it for free. Well, not free, but you have to be ESPN subscribed. But yeah, they gave the review on just that one match. And it was awesome, and you can boast now, Noah. You can finally boast, and we can't argue with you over who the hell was under the mask.
I fucking told you! It's day fucking one! That I hate sometimes always being fucking right.
You finally got vindicated, but yeah, man, it was an awesome match. Part of me said a little bit too much interference, but then again, when I rewatched it, they did just enough. Like you knew it was going to happen. The other Rejo and all that, and the Creed. I'm just going to call them the Creed brothers because they already took the mask off cable. We know who the hell the rest of them are. But
yes.
Yeah, we knew it was going to happen. But the fact that Chad Gable, the ending is what got to me. That he got up and understood what it meant to be a luchador and have a mask on and get it removed. I feel like Chad turned over a new leaf. And then, not going to spoil it, but if you watch SmackDown, it further proves he now understood. It's almost like he went through this metamorphosis. The mask changed him, and he actually respects it. He went on this journey as a disrespectful thing towards the luchadores and everybody that was wrestling. And I feel like through this, the whole Grande Americano gimmick, he understood it, and he finally got it and respected it. And this shit was just awesome. All the spots that they did, they were all over the arena. I think part of it was the fans too. Holy shit, the way the fans were reacting to every move, and
that atmosphere was as electric as CM Punk versus John Cena Money in the Bank, if not more. Because I feel like
seriously,
the country versus city was a dense one of Grande Americano.
The way they booed the shit out of the original and then cheered for the second one, and shout out to the way he just took the culture and how he keeps the gimmick. Like it is awesome. But yeah, that was one of the greatest matches WWE has produced in a long time. Why that can't translate to Raw and SmackDown, I have no idea.
I got two answers for you: Pete Dunne and Mark Calloway.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like part of it is WWE is focused more on Raw. I'll get into this because I said this to Aaron. Focus more on Raw because of the Netflix deal than they are on SmackDown, and SmackDown is suffering because of it. But I don't want to go on a whole nother side tangent. I feel like that's part of the ingredients of why they do that. This is happening. But we'll see. And I want to see this new adventure for Chad for what happened on SmackDown. So we'll see. But Clash of Italy 2 was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing, but they had some good matches and good high points.
International house show. But nonetheless, I see what you mean.
The crowd makes it, man. It's the crowd. The crowd makes a 3 show, maybe an 8. But if you really break it down, it wasn't the best. It was the crowd that makes it.
Well, I'm pretty sure me and Papagino talked about this in Major Push Wrestling. The culture of the business. Who are you selling to more for the entertainment value? The home audience or the people that bought the ticket that may have sold their kidneys not being a kidney donor? I feel like, especially with being a first time in Italy, they sold it to the audience, and the audience had a pretty damn good time, I would say. And then they were burned out because Monday Night Raw was not friggin' sold out. Go figure. So, I mean, again, in Bologna, Italy, maybe it was a different story. I don't know. Again, it's just saying. But then again, we already talked about inflated numbers. All right. Well, that being said, thank you, Walter. Okay, JJ, let's go ahead, filibuster, and get your thoughts on this Telemundo Nacho Libre Fusion expedition conclusion that was the story of the Americanos, where one has been the antithesis of going against Mexican culture to another one that became a freaking cultural icon for the practical maybe year or so he's actually been manifested in it. Mask versus mask, first and foremost. Take it away. Talk about it. Give your thoughts. Have you seen anything of it? Are you surprised by the outlook of everybody from it based on what you heard? Would you have done anything different? And as far as epilogue, considering what we know is going to happen later, of course, this year in September, I feel like the writing's on the wall for what Donna Mysterio has as a chastity belt at this point. So go ahead and give your thoughts on the mask versus mask match.
Okay. First things first, much like our Canadian friend, I have not seen it.
Okay.
That said, I was completely shocked and blown away to discover it was Chad Gable under that mask. I had no idea. I would have never guessed it. I never saw it coming. This was just mind-numbing. This was like the reveal that Mr. America was Hulk Hogan.
Oh, for the love of freaking.
This was like the reveal that Juan Cena was John Cena. This was like the reveal that the Giant Machine was Andre the Giant. I never in a million years would have guessed that Chad Gable was under that mask.
How you even build a mask the size of Andre's head?
In all seriousness, though, in the words of another great Canadian, if I may be serious for a moment.
Please.
If Chad Gable cannot become Intercontinental Champion or United States Champion by the end of the year after this, what the fuck was the point?
Nothing.
Because he would be right back in the same position he was before the gimmick started.
Irrelevancy.
If we cannot capitalize on this, what was the point?
He better be United States champion by freaking November latest, or I swear.
I'm willing to give to the end of the year. Because we usually have a Saturday night's main event in December because there's no PLE.
Fair.
I'm willing to give until that.
All right.
But if we cannot get this man the push he so rightfully deserves now, why did we do all this in the first place? That is my biggest question coming in and out of this.
Epilogue.
And the fact that a certain journalist from Northern California
Here we go.
rated this as the greatest WWE match in history, the only over 5-star match.
Are you fucking kidding me?
5 3/4 stars.
What the fuck? What? He hasn't ran anything WWE since NXT. My NXT. That's the last time I heard Dave Meltzer name and WWE in the same fucking sentence. And ironically enough, it was Walter and Ilya Dragunov. What?
So, different strokes for different folks. Everybody likes different things. We always talk about how professional wrestling is a buffet.
Yeah.
Okay. Vegas was a prime example of that.
You both would know that.
We do. All three of us would, technically, because we saw Meltzer there. We have a picture with Meltzer
Okay.
from Poder Mania.
Okay, I got
So,
you. I got
or
you.
no, from Bloodsport. But still, wrestling is a buffet. Everybody likes something different. Get it. But for this to be ranked as the highest WWE produced match in WWE history is mind-numbing to me.
I can't believe you fucking said that. I don't even acknowledge Meltzer, but the fact that he acknowledged this and did that, that's saying something for that historian. Or rather,
But that said, unless I end up getting shift the next couple of days, I do have the next 3 days off.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe I can go back and if not watch the entire show, as tonight was part 2 of that show, at least go back and watch that match.
I'll tell you this much, JJ. Video package, entrance premises, entrance into the match, shit hits the fan, the match goes off, the conclusion decision, the aftermath, the reveal, the ending, the send-off. You got a damn good fucking hour ahead for you, bro. Because I saw the whole thing when I heard about this match in itself. Because I've been keeping tabs with AAA. I mean, like Catalina is one of those tabs I've been following. I'm very happy to see.
I told you.
You were right. I'll admit you were right. And I cannot fucking believe that WWE actually made a fucking diamond for the first time since I don't know when. Who would have thought? Well, again, a broken clock's right twice a day. It was. I've said in multiple chats. I've said I'm into push wrestling. I'm saying it here now. The match was fucking perfect. I wouldn't have changed one thing from what I learned in the premise to what it represented, to what both men were, to the entrances that set their presence, to where they were in Monterrey, Mexico, to the audience reaction itself, to the aftermath outlook and the humility of the decisiveness and the conclusion of there being only one, only Americano. This had shades of something as violent, but as freaking downright definitive since Lucha Underground Hell of War, when Killshot was unmasked, as of course, Swerve Strickland. So, again, I can't say, and this is, again, record if you want, this is the first time I'll say something good about the Fed. Then again, thinking about Calvin Pete Dunne. I can't say enough good things for a detracted fan of the Fed or this business to go watch that match and have your faith restored. At least for a little bit. If nothing else, maybe AAA will actually give you something to believe in with the WWE logo attached to it. I can't say enough good things about that match. I can't. And that audience, at one point I thought the audience was going to fucking riot. Hell, there was audience interaction. And despite the fact there was a damn comedian and another fan with a mask and then some comedic woman, I think that's a woman, I couldn't tell.
There were some actors in there, yeah.
Yes, they were all assaulted, according to that prologue, by the original Grande Americano. The sins of his past came back to bite him in the freaking ass or ball.
It wasn't just that too. It was a freaking emotional roller coaster. They really
the woman that got
match.
fired and freaking came back, and I'm guessing that's a Grande Americano's muse. Just wow. Enough said. Wow. And now El Grande Americano is challenging Don Mysterio for the AAA Mega Championship at Triple Mania in September, which again, folks, we will be covering. So there you go again. If I could say that's professional wrestling damn in Espanol, I would. That literally earned my respect. It was amazing. Yes, JJ.
Did they say which night that match is happening?
No.
Okay. because there is conversation that some of the people in the SRS may go for the Vegas portion of Triple Mania.
Oh, right, because it's in the pyramid. It's in the Luxor.
The first night, I believe, yes.
Yeah, the thing that beams the light out.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. I don't think they've given a date for it yet, according to my notes, as far as definitively when that match is going to happen. If someone knows an actual date for that, you are now free to actually speak from a reliable source if you know officially when that's going to be. But again, folks,
And
we will
notice
make-
the date of that first night.
yeah, it's Friday.
September 11th. Let's have a mass gathering in Las Vegas, a highly trafficked city, 25 years after.
Don't bring ice. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
I don't know. It's Vegas in September. You might want to have a lot of ice.
You're going to get something cold in your drink differently, I think, or slushy. Okay. That being said, that's professional wrestling, damn it. Muy bien. Very good. Incredible. Phenomenal match. What a damn freaking spectacle. I can't believe I actually fucking said that. Well done. But again, Pete Dunne, Mark Calloway. Pete Dunne. Duh. Mark Calloway? I didn't know he could actually fucking produce. All right.
He's been basically the driving force behind AAA since they bought it.
Which is very interesting, honestly. Who would have thought that would be a saving grace? And Rey Mysterio is the general manager, just saying. So there's that. Oh, by the way, Corey Graves, I feel like he's found his passion again, too, and actually found where he can be play-by-play. JBL, nah, take him or leave him. If you know, you know, folks. But, yeah, AAA right now seems like the most structured WWE product to actually engage in and watch. And actually seems to make sense. For now. It's only been a year. Let's see. All right, that being said, Clash Nearly. JJ, any takeaways from that show besides the crowd?
I didn't think it was as bad a show as people making it out to be.
I don't think it was bad. It was just...
I don't think it was as mid. I don't think it was as bland. I don't think it was as house show. Whatever adjective you want to use to describe it.
Okay.
I don't think it was as bad as people are making it out to be. I thought it was a solid show. The problem is that, and I'm not singling you out, I'm singling the entire IWC out. The problem is that people have their standards set here because of what Tony Khan delivers every month. Okay? That anything that isn't here, people consider a mid show, a blast show, a whack show. Not every meal can be filet mignon.
Yeah, once in a while, you just got to spend your $5 on McDonald's. I get it.
Yeah, it was a good show. It did exactly what it needed to do. It furthered the stories it needed to further. It delivered for the Italy crowd. They were happy. Why can't we just call that a W? Why? Because it wasn't Double or Nothing. Does it have to be a mid show, a house show? Yeah. This is the problem I have with the IWC. Not every show is going to be on that caliber.
I don't expect it to.
You know, if we want to sit here and we have that conversation, the Dynamite after Double or Nothing was hot fucking garbage.
And the
You want to have that? You want to have that conversation? Let's have that fucking conversation.
All right, go for it, man. I'll tell you the following Dynamite.
But I'm just saying, it's just coming off of that outstanding pay-per-view, you did nothing to follow it up.
Well, this is the business, right?
You know, so it's like people can have that conversation. Just let each show be a show. Stop trying to hold it to a standard. Stop trying to compare it to the one that came before it. Again, professional wrestling is a buffet. That's the beautiful thing about a buffet. You can go to a buffet, you can go get some carved ham. You don't want carved ham, you can get fried chicken. You don't want fried chicken, you can go get some fish.
There's JJ.
You want to just have a salad, go get a salad. You want to just live at the dessert bar, go live at the fucking dessert bar. You can have whatever you want. But let the fans that enjoy it and stop trying to put them down for enjoying it by calling it mid or a glorified house show.
I don't think we're necessarily.
And again, I'm not singling you out, even though you've used some of those terms to describe this show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just speaking as a generalization. So please don't take it as an attack on you. I love you. I love you and I respect your opinions, Noah. You know that.
Same to you.
This is to everybody else out there.
Yeah, and again,
it was a solid show. I give it a B-.
Well,
that's better than average. It's not stellar. You didn't fail. You don't get the Bart Simpson, at least you tried cake. It was a good show. I enjoyed it for what it was. But I also don't go into every PLE expecting WrestleMania.
You burn yourself out if you did that. Are you fucking kidding me?
Night 2, because night 1 was hot garbage.
Well, yeah, I don't
It was
think
a tale of 2 WrestleManias.
Yeah, we can all unanimously agree about that hot shit.
But again, my dad always raised me, and I don't know if any of your parents raised you the same way. Go in expecting the worst. Then if you get better, you're not disappointed. But if you go in expecting top tier Jasmine Allure type shit, and you don't get that delivered, now you're mad. Now you're disappointed. Think of the worst wrestling show you've ever seen and go in expecting that. And if you get better than that, you got a good show.
There you go. That's it.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
About to say thank you so much for that, JJ Williams. Again, folks, wrestling subjective. Don't pigeonhole yourself to expect the same standard across every PLE, PVV from any three-letter company, whether or not it's free or you pay a stupid amount on TV. Just enjoy life, enjoy professional wrestling. This is a public service announcement from Shenanigans Studios. Thank you. And you're a dickhead if you think otherwise. The wrong type of dickhead. The one that needs to be vasectomy. All right. With that being said, figure for that, JJ Williams. Okay. Well, with that being said, it's been a fun swallow on the Shenanigans. I think that's a nice roundabout way to go around the trial marks. We're going to play the watch on chair one more time. Bid y'all find out, dude. Talk about a little bit what's coming up this week outside our watch-alongs. And then we will leave you to Sunday to drink, to sleep, or to eat tiramisu, or get ready to play and worship in the morning, such as I. So stay tuned.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And as always, here at the Super Reliable Studios, we truly like to remind you, if you want to be part of the latest TED Talk, all you got to do is call the number 1-888-WRESTLING, and you could also lend your voice to the conversation. Take the mic and get what's off your chest here in subjective, constructive matter here. With your opinions matter too, but we also welcome you bring in your honest and open outlook. So stay tuned for the next TED Talk, brought to you by the Super Reliable Studios here every week on a Saturday night. And with that in mind, I also am here to remind you that we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all the wrestling. And thank you all once again for tuning in to another rousing edition of the Saturday Shenanigans, where we broke down the business, looked at the shows, gave an honest outlook, and a taste of what things to come in and out of tournament turmoil with the bet. Okay, first off, someone made that way too long, but apparently I'm receiving breaking news from the SRS feed. So let's go ahead and see what the F's going on here. Whoever did that, speak.
Hi.
JJ, what?
So you mentioned a little bit ago, and I forget the exact phrase you used, but you mentioned about the things that you engage in and you do and your decisions outside of this.
Yes.
I have something major to announce kind of regarding this.
Oh, yeah.
Beginning on the weekend of June 27th, which that'll be Noah's personal Hell Week, as we have Night of Champions, Forbidden Door, Slammiversary, and Great American Bash all over the course of 2 days.
Bloody freaking hell.
Simply Predicting's beginning that Tuesday, leading into all that.
Yes.
But beginning with the Night of Champions on June 27th, there will be a new destination output for the Simply Reliable Studios.
Huh?
We will now be streaming on, and the name of the channel is still being rebranded, hasn't been officially decided yet. But it's basically going to be streamed on, in addition to Rage of Wrestling, Batty for Wrestling, and Foster 1916, Casa D18 Studios, the No DQ Galaxy YouTube channel.
What?
Boss, thank you. Bossman Aaron Rift is rebranding his personal YouTube channel, and we are going to be one of the brands that is going to begin going across that channel.
Wow. Well, all right then. Well, network
We will be hold your horses.
Continue.
We will be contributing WWE, AEW, and TNA watch-alongs. We will also begin contributing Simply Predictings for those brands, for WWE, AEW, and TNA.
Damn, now people know my strategies.
We will also be contributing our interviews I don't believe anything has been confirmed yet, but I know Aaron was going to reach out to you and or Papagino to begin putting Major Push and Postmortem on there as well.
Okay.
Big Baller G and Oofman are confirmed collaborators as well. This is a huge move for us because if numbers do good, we might get moved to the No DQ proper YouTube channel.
Wow. Okay then.
Originally, we were being considered to be put on the No DQ proper YouTube channel. However, Aaron has his concerns regarding the algorithm.
Yep.
And putting two pay-per-view watch-alongs on the same day on the same YouTube channel, just a few hours apart from each other.
That makes sense. It's weird.
To which I proposed, well, something we could potentially do down the road is if it's a choice, as it is this case on this particular Sunday where it's Forbidden Door and Slammiversary, the AEW one can go on the No DQ proper channel. The TNA one can go on the Galaxy one. That way you separate them as to not confuse the algorithm and mess up the algorithm. The No DQ proper one gets the bigger company, AEW. The former personal channel would get the smaller company, TNA. Undetermined as of yet if NXT and Ring of Honor are going to be a part of this. We can discuss that going forward. NXT right now, we're doing delayed watch-alongs on anyways because none of us get CW live. So that kind of kills that. Ring of Honor only does like 3 or 4 pay-per-views a year. So we don't even have to worry about that until Death Before Dishonor.
That would be correct.
Which is usually August or September.
Usually.
So we got some time for numbers to come out, see how things do before we even have to worry about that. But coming the end of June, we will also be streaming on the No DQ Galaxy expanded YouTube channel.
Well,
we've been working on big things behind the scenes.
Clearly, don't catch me off guard. All right,
we catching everybody. It's only been us 3 working on it.
Pretty
me,
much
and Aaron.
Until today, when Aaron put it in the No DQ and No DQ review chats that he was looking to do this. This literally was just between me, Walter, and him.
Makes sense, honestly. All right. Well,
I was the first person to go to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
We were the first brand approved to do it. As I was on my way to work today, Aaron added himself to Walter's StreamYard. So his destinations currently reside in Walter's StreamYard. Shenanigans tonight could have been going across it, but I said no. Let's save that weekend for the grand opening. And if we get any interviews between now and then, that can be like the soft launch. And Aaron said that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to be a big weekend. We're looking at doing 3 streams. So
this is the only way NoDQ.com will also cover sports. Because when Mikey and I do sports, or when Mikey does sports, and Aaron laughed his ass off when we said that.
Yeah, we're not doing UFC. We're not putting, baseball, basketball, any of that stuff. Right now, it is just WWE, AEW, TNA. We're not even putting independents on there.
No.
We're keeping the independent coverage exclusive to our channels. But
Fair
this
enough.
is big for us because that is new eyes, potentially new subscribers, and it won't just be the YouTube. Correct me if I'm wrong, Walter, because I haven't seen it yet because I walked in and the stream was already going. He added his personal X account too. We'll be going on the Aaron Rift X account.
Yep.
Okay.
So it'll be Casa D18 Studios, Batty for Wrestling, Rage of Wrestling, and Foster 1916 YouTubes, the Walter Alex Cruz X, the Simply Reliable Studios X, the Aaron Rift X, and whatever he rebrands the YouTube as. 500, whatever it was, 1,000, whatever it was we did for WrestleMania,
Yeah.
could potentially be doubled consistently.
Well, networking expansions and growth are constantly a thing, especially when mergers are expected to have that sort of outcome. I mean, you just look at media services. Well, thank you for that, JJ, and thank you, Walter, and to Bossman Aaron Riff. Happy to be a part of this opportunity that you presented forward to us, and may it only expand a bigger outlook towards the wrestling business and everyone involved in it. So thank you for that, JJ. Okay,
And
folks.
I'm just gonna leave it at this. To anybody as part of the Simply Reliable Studios team, don't let this make you nervous. Just continue to be yourself on the stream. Ash, if you come in for an AEW, because I know you're still kind of getting your legs underneath you at the commentary thing, just be your lovable baddie self that you always are.
You better be.
Don't allow the fact that we could have that many people watching us make you nervous. Just be you.
Focus on the monitor.
There's a reason everybody loves Ash. There's a reason that Nick is our lovable goofball. You know? There's a reason why Charles ascends from the sewers only to retreat. Everyone keep being yourselves.
Look, I'm just the guy that just stares at the monitor and calls what's on the screen. That's all I need to do.
I will break you, Noah, on no DQ eventually.
Half the time when we're doing commentaries, I don't even like speak. I only like say like a couple clips here and there, and that's it, because I'm so goddamn focused on the match, especially for like AEW.
I know, Ash. You and I have again. That's all you need to do, though. You're the analyst. Again, that's all you need to do. You add the clips, you add the points, you add the technique. I'm just the guy that tells the Ted Gum play-by-play story for everything, apparently.
And
Bloody
you mentioned how that intro was long. I actually shortened it. The regular intro, the breaking news clip, is like 2.5 minutes. That was only like 30 seconds.
Wow. Jeez. Well, all I know is CBS used to do 15 seconds, and also there's that button. But I do see the point, and also nice job. I like that. And as long as it's not copyright, let's keep doing it. But that was definitely
got
fitting.
the license for it. I made sure I put it in mine. I'll send it to you guys so that you can add it to your description since it was after the fact. But
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that, JJ. So again, folks, stay tuned as SRS says, yeah, to no DQ, as we are all part of the galaxy, and you'll be seeing a lot more of our content across no DQ feeds, whether it's interviews, commentary, or shenanigans. Oh, good Lord. They actually might see me moderating.
Yeah. Shenanigans is, thank you. I forgot about that. Shenanigans is going to start going across that as well.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Interviews, simply predicting, watch-alongs, and shenanigans.
You realize what Simmer did to across their feeds, my secrets, my technique, my strategies, my opinions.
Our interviews will also be featured on the website, nodq.com.
They're all going to be exposed now. Now everyone's going to have a way to one-up me in the AEW or freaking WWE. Damn it.
Sorry to break your strategy.
That's right.
Thanks a lot.
Just like Ivan Drago, I will break you.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, and we'll see who reigns for the end of the year, and we'll see what's acknowledged. But
I do want to take a second before we get the shows to do one more thing real quick, and I did share this in the group chat, but I want to go ahead and broadcast this to the people watching and to people that don't click and scroll. The other night, I managed to stumble into a space on X that was being hosted by GCW. Now, at first, I thought this was my buddy John, the GCW World podcast. But upon further listening, upon being in there for a minute, this was being hosted by Brett Lauderdale.
Oh.
So I jumped in it. I listened, and he was basically picking fans' brains head about Tournament of Survival, which was today. Go back to the archives. Check out Walter's solo coverage of that.
Nice job, bro.
But he was picking people's brains about Tournament of Survival. And I messaged Walter, sent him the link. I was like, dude, Brett Lauderdale is hosting a space. So, of course, Walter comes in there. I requested a microphone. I said my little piece. But because I didn't want echoes or anything, I didn't get to capture my moment. But I did capture Walter's moment, talking to the one and only Brett Lauderdale.
Walter? Are you there, Walter? Okay.
Really quickly, he's asking if Walter is there because he didn't believe Walter was a real person. When I mentioned Walter during my time speaking, he thought Walter may have been a fake person. So they didn't want to take who I said Walter wanted to win, just in case Walter wasn't real. So that's why he's asking this.
That's fair, Peter.
Walter? Are you there, Walter? Okay, Walter is real. Walter, first of all, who are you picking? Is it true what your friend said? Who are you picking?
Yes, I'm picking Vipers, who I feel like was the MVP in Vegas, who was like on every show, and like I've been like day one fan of her, and I just feel like she's gonna be an ultraviolet Chola champion eventually. I echo the same thing as Simply Reliable Studio. I'm part of Simply Reliable Studio, so that was JJ that was representing us, but I
Okay.
feel like she is gonna get the best of Tremont eventually.
Wow. That is a overwhelming vote of confidence for Viperous. Scott, can you give us the updated score, please?
We got Viperous at 4, we got Dr. Redacted at 3, and we got Mr. Danger at 2.
Okay. So we got 9 votes in. Walter, do you have any other insight you would like to give us about Vipers or about the tournament or anything else in general?
I think that to debut in that's her first tournament and to win it all would just really say something. And I do like you guys saying that Redacted, like a lot of people pick Redacted in the finals with her. I wouldn't mind it. I think that'll be a great finals, but I just think she'll overcome him. You know, maybe Redacted would have a soft spot since he just got married for fighting a female, and she could take advantage of it.
Okay. All right. Noted. All right, Walter. I only have a few minutes left on my walk, so I'm going to cut you loose because I want to take one more caller so we can get a 10th and final vote in. So thank you, Walter. We'll see you soon.
Wow. All right, then. A hot take right there for Viperous.
Well, I do wish I could have recorded or I could have had Walter record my conversation because I got a little bit more time with Brett than he did. I feel like I got like close between 5 and 10 minutes talking with Brett and giving my thoughts. I picked Viperous as well. I said that, I figured Viperous was going to take the tournament and then dethrone Tremont as champion, possibly even do it tomorrow at Cage's Survival since he's having like an open gauntlet.
Oh, geez.
And just my whole point is, and the point I made to Brett was the fact that I've watched over the past year from her going to being local competitor that competed when they came to California, Arizona, New Mexico, to being talent that they take with them on trips. She was in Milan, Germany. Milan, Italy, excuse me. She was in France. She's going to Jersey this weekend. She's going on all of the big trips because Brett obviously sees something in her. So that was kind of my logic in that. And then he asked me if I had any other questions or comments. And I asked him about Busta and the Brain. It was like, with them being all elite earlier this year, like how much longer do you think that you have them as potential tag team champions, as people that you can keep around for a while? and he went in depth and gave a solid answer on that. But like I said, I wish I could have had that part recorded as well. But me and Walter got to interact with and pick the brain a little bit of Brett Lauderdale.
That's pretty cool. And again, to everyone involved in the survival tournament, good luck to everybody. But I think Viperous is definitely a fair shout.
Well, the tournament already happened. Walter knows the winner. Walter, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who won? If you did not watch the tournament, spoiler incoming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walter.
Pretty much no one was correct in terms of the finals because the finals was Masashi Takeda versus Mr. Danger, of all people. He survived. And Takeda is your 2026 Tournament Survival champion.
See, a lot of people were picking Takeda to make it to the finals, but they figured with him being the older established vet going into the Deathmatch Hall of Fame this year, he would probably put over whatever young gun made it to the finals against him. But maybe because he's going into that Hall of Fame, that's why they gave him the tournament, since he's never won it before.
Yeah, and if you can't watch the whole thing and you got about 15 minutes, go watch Nino Extremo versus Sickle. That fucking match was the match of the night. These guys were doing shit. What I like about the pay-per-view is they had a unique set. It got a little annoying in between each match. They had like a 10-minute timer because they had to set up, but each match had a different, unique ring, like something different around the ring. The weapons were different. They kind of like changed it each time. There was a scaffold involved in them. They literally both were on a scaffold, bleeding half to death, when this fucker hits a Spanish fly on Sickle through a glass panel that was set up in between two chairs and a door that had barbed wire around it. The sickest spot, pun intended, because his name is Sickle, but holy shit, these two. Like, I gained a whole new respect for Nino Extremo. Like, that match was match of the night. No, bar none. That shit was ridiculous.
I do have a question because I don't know when I'll be able to get a chance to go back and watch it. And since you did watch it, I apologize to Noah. I know he wanted to get out of here, but we kind of sidebar, and then we'll get to the shows, I promise. I just want to ask this one question.
Go for it.
How far did Gresham make it? Because I was curious. Jonathan Gresham is a battle-tested tournament wrestler, but he's not really a deathmatch wrestler. So I was curious how far he was going to make it in this environment.
He is not a deathmatch person. You can't say that anymore. But he did not make it out of the first round. He lost. But something literally awoke in him where it seems like he likes this shit, and it's like a whole new Gresham. Like, you can literally see him be like, "Oh fuck, I like death matches." Like, something woke him up, but I've never seen this expression on his face where I was like, "Holy fucking shit!" Like, you guys gotta watch that match too. This
the expression on Ash's face is cracking me up. She's like, "Ooh, ooh,"
he did a
she likes blood and gore.
He did a shooting star press off the top rope through the light bulbs and landed on his stomach because he moved to get him moved, and he just landed on pure glass and got up with all this glass just sticking out of him. But he had this weird smile. I don't know, something. They woke something up in Gresham, and I'm afraid now.
Yo, that sounds gnarly as fuck, man. That's metal as fuck, yo.
The dude is so you can tell that this isn't his kind of match. The fucker didn't even wear knee pads. I'm like, what are you doing? You're in a death match with no knee pads.
Okay.
Well then.
Okay, so we got a new masochist on the horizon. Great. All right. Well,
I mean, have you seen his wife? I'm just saying.
On the rising. Can't forget about this little guy right here.
To be fair, you're right, Jun Kasai, but Jun Kasai did beat him, and the only reason Jun Kasai was limited is because Ryusuke Taguchi got him with a roll-up. If it wasn't for Taguchi, your boy Fujita may have not been even involved in the semifinals.
Have you seen his backstage promo he cut after that match? It's looks like Fujita might be into deathmatch wrestling
I
too.
think you're right. I think Jun Kasai made a lot more people that he may want to put in a Freedom's death match with Bar Senzaki as the referee. Good Lord. Okay, well, that being said, thank you, Walter. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Brett Lott and GCW. And as you heard by JJ, you saw in the watch on trailer while the tournament is over. Stay tuned for Kid Survival to be covered here at the Superchatted Studios. But I think with that being said, we're going to go ahead and shout out to DJ at Rock and Ropes. What's up, bro? Hope everything's good in the NYC. With that being said, I'm ready to go to sleep. Let's get the fuck out of here. And
they're in the finals. I think everything's great in N1C. They're up 2-0. Everybody in New York is happy.
For real, the Knicks have not lost a game since Danhausen uncursed them.
Mm-hmm.
They have won 13-0.
Yes, 13 games in a row, and they've come back each one of those. They were down where you think they were gonna lose. And by the way, the main event, I had to go back to because the main event was nuts, right? Like you think you've seen
if
it
you
all.
want to dictate the conversation, super chat. We're trying to get out of here.
Yeah, seriously.
But he jogged my memory. They fucking took the mat off the ring and just left the wood.
If I remember correctly, last year they did cinder blocks.
Cinder blocks, yep. They literally, but this is just pure wood with a fucking door and barbed wire on the ground, and this shit was ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, she's OP. Someone break down the proverbial door and send me to a barbed wire wall, why don't you? Good grief.
And the good thing about you guys seeing it on repeat, you can fast forward the little fucking 10-minute breaks in between each match because it's just them cleaning and setting up the next match.
They'll probably cut that for the replays. They're usually pretty good.
I would think so.
They usually go in and they edit that stuff. So we'll see.
All right. Well, hell, I already say fuck streaming services enough when it comes to breaks and other stuff. You think I'm going to actually wait for a 10-minute break? Get the fuck out of here. All right.
Daily Motion is your friend. Daily Motion is your friend.
Sometimes, unless you get a 5-minute commercial, or you get a break at 5 minutes, or you try and fast forward, then it plays some damn foreign advertisement or Limu Emu or some bullshit like that. Daily Motion ain't that great, last I checked. It may still be around, but that service is also subpar. But if you want a TED Talk on what I think about all the sub-services of the internet as I know when it comes to glorified media advertising versus underwhelmment in content showcasing, pay $50 to get a TED Talk by the Simple Man next time on the Shenanigans. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I will say I like the Limu Emu.
Fuck you. All right, let's get the fuck out of here before you piss me off any further. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm never going to freaking invest in that firm. More reasons now besides that. Ash, always appreciate you. Again, continue your professional development. Stay batty. If you're a deathmatch junkie, just keep the blood inside your body. Where can people find you? Well, then again, you women have a moment every month.
Well, some. But we're not going to get into that.
No, we're not.
Because I'm about to say if you have time, but anyway, I'm relatively healthy. I'm relatively healthy. I just gained 20 pounds after the last time I went to the doctors. But anyway,
okay, moving on.
I am a big. I've gained
bag.
weight.
You're a big bag.
I'm a very big bag. Yes.
All right, big bag, and I'm a toothpick. Moving on.
Hey, be careful, Ginobili might snatch you out of the sky because he just grabs bats right out of the air.
I'm 132 pounds. He could probably snap me like a twig. Continue, Ash. Bloody hell, you idiots.
You can find me on XDF, formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBadAsh, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Betty for Wrestling. Don't be a dickhead.
All right, and again, Ash might be part of the Minion. Otherwise, stay tuned for a Bag Bracket Breakdown, as we do annually with the G1 Climax, if nothing else, at the Bag for Wrestling YouTube channel.
We're going to paint the town orange.
We'll see. Again, that freaking guy might turn your world into a yellow banana if he gets his way this year. It's a rematch from last year. We'll see if anything changes.
I do like bananas, by the way.
And bananas are all right. If I'm going to rake bananas up there with fruit, freaking Minion. Apple. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Walter, go ahead and tell where the people can find you and your reliable takes and puns, too. And by the way, great job on commentary.
Thank you. At Rage of Wrestling on YouTube, Walter.Cruz.940 on the Instagram, which is a verified account now, and then X at Walter Alex Cruz.
As simple as that. Get this man to freaking 300 and watch him burn up his liver. At least it grows back. Again, you're bloody crazy. All right. Thank you for that, Walter. And
Hey,
again,
you get to be a game show host, so that you looking forward to that.
I am see enough in and out of YouTube and at church when I host the perfect line, all right? And maybe one day I'll bring a perfect line forward here and we'll see if you all can actually put things in order, which you probably can't because you're all dysfunctional as it is. But nonetheless, appreciate you all, even those goofballs in the chat.
And thank you
Bananas.
Thank you for Gwen Stefani teaching everyone how to spell bananas.
and yet people still probably screw that up worse than Mississippi. All right, JJ, at least no one can screw up your name. 2 initials for Pete's sake. Unless people turn a J into an L or an I. Then again, I don't know if people can write anymore. Do they even teach writing anymore in school?
The only way people screw up my name is when they write Jay, Jay.
Okay, so they can still.
It's like you're making it too difficult. It's literally J period, J period. Then they'll write J period, J period. God damn it.
Ain't it great? Go ahead and talk about your stuff.
Well, you can find me in the rest of the greatest university in professional wrestling history, Chase U. You can find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, on YouTube at Casa D18 Studios, on X, Casa D18 Studio, no S at the end at the X. You can also find me primarily as the one posting on SR Studios 2024, announcing all of our interviews, posting all of our major stuff, and we do have an interview coming up. So there will be a soft opening, if you will, for the major networking collaboration that I did mention.
Yeah, collaboration. That's the word.
As we will be welcoming the former Big Body Javi, now going by Core Kid Javi, formerly of My NXT.
Damn it.
That'll be on Monday, June 15th, a rare Monday interview. But again, we work around the talent schedule.
So you have to.
I believe he asked for Monday because his girlfriend is the NXT Women's Champion. So he may have to, be at the PC with her. He is with Miss Tatum Paxley. So, wait, no, Lola's the champion now, right? Where's Tatum?
Mamacita is the champion.
That's right. Tatum has something, doesn't she?
She has the NXT Women's North American Champion.
North American, okay. I knew she had a title. My apologies as to which one, but still.
It's okay.
She's a champion, damn it.
She's defending it this Tuesday, too, and it's... Whew.
Against who?
That's right, Emmanuel. Chase you forever.
Is it Jada Parker? No. Who the hell is he defending it against?
Who knows? They got too many random creative superstars in NXT that I know 2 shits about. All right. Well, thank you for
and while we're at it, giving plugs, since he is in the chat, let's go ahead and put Emmanuel over.
All right.
Find him on Instagram
at
EDM7324. His sister, Arlene Dominguez.
Yeah.
On Instagram at Arlene Dominguez. On X, ADM73244. Also in the chat, Datilla. Find her at Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. Datilla_ on X. You can also find her other, more recent venture. There it goes.
Why you took it off? There you go.
I was trying to hit at the same time. Pop Culture Powerbomb, PC Powerbomb on X. Follow her there. Get her followers up. I don't want to hear it about the X. The little bird is the word.
No, it's not.
I even sent you a thing today on Instagram proving the bird was the word.
No. You're just gonna trigger the Superman again. The bird is dead. There's a reason why Elon Musk made it an X. You can deal with it all you want, and there's a reason why WWE still calls Cody Rhodes the undisputed WWE Championship. where your logic in one world makes sense, and the other world, they don't give a shit. All right, well, thank you for that, JJ. I always give a shit about your opinion. I
And
always give a shit
even though it's already happened, I am curious to see video footage today from the Pro Wrestling Symphony event, as we were the sponsors of the Taekwondo demonstration by Dragon Kai. So I'm waiting to see that get posted. Hear the big announcement of us being the sponsor so that we can add that to our intro as well.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much for Pro Wrestling Symphony, by the way. Again, folks, check them out as always.
Yes. Shout out to Connor, Pat, and Rory.
And you can also check out that interview in the Survival Studios archives and also on Spotify, if not on our respective YouTubes at Castlevania Studios and Rage of Wrestling, particularly. Thank you, JJ, and thank you, Walter, and thank you, Ash, and to in the chat, and thank you to all of you as I continue to endure and moderate the madness that we all conglomerate on more of the time at my expense, if not my own mental strain, which is a very long leash, but sometimes I'm ready to pull it in, such as now. But if you want to try and follow me or engage with me, good luck if you choose. Well, now I guess everyone will be able to soon enough with this collaboration. Damn it. But find me if you choose in Foster 1916 for all things wrestling on the X, because I actually understand concurrency, and on YouTube, despite the Fed not knowing that. For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! Again, this week, you heard we got an interview, and of course, this Wednesday, I'll be back covering AEW, whether I Joey Styles it or have somebody else on the call. And as I said, of course, I missed on the Collision coverage, but I'm not going to leave y'all high and dry on that tournament match that was the main event. I'll be covering that prior to the coverage, so I'll probably go online 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday night to cover that, short admission, and then bring it all into Dynamite. And then, of course, as you all know, this week, it's simple. But as the gentleman in the bottom right-hand corner pointed out, Brady Bunch style, the following week, God help my mentality, because you're getting a quadruple dose of simply predicting, Lord help me. Times right now in white are pretty much official. Times in yellow are tentative based on whether or not there's a 3-hour Dynamite Collision by Mammoth on the con, and also how SmackDown airs on Friday night. But yes, folks, your eyes do not deceive you. There will be predicting. There will be prediction forums for all 4 of these leagues. There will be a predictions league breakdown for the Fed and AEW. And there also will be coverage some way, somehow, for all 4 of these shows on that weekend. As far as I know, at least 3 of them will probably be me on commentary. So stay tuned for what truly is the craziest week of the summer, sizzling my brain and voice to oblivion as the wrestling business tries to kill me in a single weekend. And that's all I gotta say for now, as I like to remind you all and bid you all with this little bit of wisdom, where I remind you there are no winners, no losers, no betters. Just fans with opinions with this passionately all serious. At the end of the day, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your family, just your life, and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. But with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell for the field, live on demand, and the YouTube channels in the Survival Studios. Follow us on the X today. Follow Datilla's new adventure on the X today. Follow all of us if you choose on the X today. Because I show you the madness, the shenanigans, the creativity, the passion, the persistence of my mentality. Somehow, some way, is not going to let up anytime soon. But for now, in Ken Omega fashion, as we reach the conclusion, I bid you all now a fine adieu. For the East Coast, it is Sunday. For the West Coast, it soon shall be. So on behalf of everyone here on the panel, Datilla and Emmanuel and others that engage in the chat, and for those of you that shadow stalk or simply tune in to witness the madness that continue to make it possible, I thank you all once again as I bid you all a fine farewell. And in closing, make a pause and pat in life. And have a good night. And thank you all for tuning in once again to another rousing edition of the Saturday Shenanigans. Have a good night, folks. And we will see you next time here at the Simply Reliable Studios. Take care.
And always believe in Joe Hendry.
Yes!
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Hendry!
We even got the something in before you were here, JJ. That didn't even mean to do it.
Those freaking people. Good night, folks.